Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes so sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. Not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade. Sipping motions of lemonade. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. There's a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Stack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and the Shakeouts. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcakes sweet and sassy. Not just a YouTube show. When you know. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
Oh, you know it's going to get stranger. So let's get on with this show. Let's go. Hello. I'm Melanie Little. I'm your host tonight, and I am a New York barred in state and federal court civil litigator for more than 3 decades. And oh boy, just when you thought it couldn't get any stranger. Let's get on with the show. Let's go. Today's Friday, May 29th, 2026. And wow, just wow. In a stunning display of idiocy, the Haas defendants, who are now also the Haas plaintiffs, have paid their lawyers something like probably $5,000 to fire off a letter to a YouTuber with close to 3 million followers on one of his channels, and threatened him that if he has Turtleboy on his show, they will come for him. You cannot make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. And if you think that Tim Pool is going to back away from this because of a 4-page letter from an attorney who happened to have sued Alex Jones and got a default judgment against him for a whole hell of a lot of money, boy, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you. I got a bridge in Brooklyn that I want to sell you. Yeah, he already did back away. For now. For now. I didn't know who Tim Pool was until today. I didn't know about the TimCast IRL podcast on YouTube because I'd barely have time to watch anybody's shows because I could barely have time to do my own shows. It's a threat. It's absolutely a threat. Not only is it a threat to him as a podcaster, it is a threat to free speech. It is a threat of litigation. And it's bumping right up against the line of ethics for an attorney. This is wild. They've never seen anything like it. That's why we have the Afro Man cupcake over there in the right-hand corner. Because if you thought the Afro Man effect was something, boy, check this out. Check this out, my friends. And this is from earlier today. I mean, listen, if you want somebody not to talk about something, or if you want to not draw attention to something, you do exactly the opposite of this. Okay? You go away. You do not bring attention. I'm at a loss for words. Check this out. Earlier today on Twitter. Thanks for the screenshots. Jen McCabe is trending on Twitter. Check it out. This is earlier. There she is. Remember how she Googled herself the day after John O'Keefe's murder? I think it was the day after John O'Keefe's murder. In her Google searches was a search of herself. Guess what now? You're trending, babe. You're trending. Check this out. Today's news on Twitter, Tim Pool cancels Turtleboy appearance after legal warning in Karen Reed case. As of a couple hours ago, when you sent this to me, there was 11,000 posts about it. Now there's something like 12,500 posts about it. What? And here is what TimCast, aka Tim Pool, tweeted this morning, which if you didn't get the humor in it, then you don't understand sarcasm. Here it is. Canceled. This morning, my lawyers received notice pertaining to Dr. Turtleboy and risk of legal exposure if we host him. The notice is attached. Under advisement of counsel, we will not host him on IRL and must advise, all caps, do not follow him or read what he is saying. The Afro Man effect, which used to be called the Streisand effect, is now in full force and effect. And if you don't think that both of these guys, Turtleboy and Tim Pool, are going to gain tens of thousands of followers from these events of today and this lawyer's letter, you're nuts. You're nuts. He knew exactly what he was doing. Guess what? When he does host Turtleboy on his show, and I think he will, I don't know, I have no inside information about this at all. How many more people do you think are going to watch it than would have watched it if nobody drew attention to it and it didn't garner so much of a social media firestorm today? Yeah, mods are no mercy tonight. So you can try. You can try. But let me tell you something. The mods are no mercy. Don't even try it. Don't come in here and bash Tim Pool. Don't come in here and bash Turtleboy. Don't come in here and try and insult me, even if you pay me $2. It's not going to work. I'm not even watching the chat, so I'm not going to see it. So good job to you. Well done to you, Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins. You better want what you wish for, because now that this man who's got something like, I don't know, let's see. I don't know how many followers he has on Twitter, because this is just a screenshot. Well, let me take this down and then pull this up. Hi, I'm here. Oh man, I've been chopping at the bit all day, but I've been so busy with, life and things that I could not get here as early as I wanted to. Here's TimCast's IRL channel, the one that he was going to host Turtleboy on. It's got 2.73 million subscribers, 11,000 videos. This is a guy who got his start live streaming the Occupy Wall Street protests back in 2011. You think he's really going to back off? I don't think so. But you know what? Go on with your bad selves. Do you know how much it must have cost them to get that lawyer to write that letter? I don't know, minimum of $5,000, I would say, a minimum. Okay? I don't even know that TimCast had even promoted the Turtleboy appearance. I don't know. I know that Turtleboy did, aka Aiden Carney, for those of you who are new here. I don't know that TimCast IRL, I think he's got more than one channel. He's got a live show on this one every single day. Does he have another channel, or is this his only channel? Now I don't know. Now I'm confused. So go on over there, sub up. It's like he has got 2.73 million subs. And he does, I think, a lot of politics. Looks like is he live right now? All right, so he's even, despite his huge 2.73 million sub count, his videos are getting in the area of, the most recent ones anyway, 158,000 views, 150,000 views, 162,000 views. We're going to read the letter from Chris Maddie to Tim Pool. We're going to look up a little bit about Tim Pool, because the first time I've ever heard of him was today. No shade to him. Listen, I'm a busy woman. Okay. Here's his Wikipedia page, Tim Pool. Timothy Daniel Pool, born in 1986. Wow, I feel really old now. Is an American right-wing political commentator and podcast host. He first became known for live streaming the 2011 Occupy Wall Street protests. He joined Vice Media and Fusion TV in 2014, later working on YouTube and other platforms. Poole was born in Chicago, Illinois, and grew up in a middle-class family. His father was a firefighter, and his mother sold cars. Oh, he just turned 40. Happy birthday, Tim Pool. Happy birthday. His maternal grandmother is Korean. Poole attended a Catholic school until completing the 5th grade, and he left school at the age of 14. Here's his career section on Wikipedia. Can we trust Wikipedia? I don't know. I don't know if we can. Occupy Wall Street. After watching a viral video from Occupy Wall Street, Poole purchased a one-way bus ticket to New York. Poole joined the Occupy Wall Street protesters on September 20th of 2011. Shortly thereafter, he met Henry Ferry, a former realtor and sales manager with whom he founded media company The Other 99. Poole also began live streaming the protest with his cell phone and quickly assumed an on-camera role. Oh, what is that? Protest, you say? You like to film protests, you say? Isn't that like exactly what Turtleboy did? Poole used the live chat stream to respond to questions from viewers while reporting on Occupy Wall Street. I don't know. Sounds like Turtleboy or JLR. Poole also lets his viewers direct him on where to shoot footage. Oh, what do you mean? You give the people what they want? You cater to your audience? Wow, that's so crazy. You know who else does that? Every YouTuber ever. He modified a toy remote-controlled Parrot AR drone for aerial surveillance and modified software for live streaming into a system called Drone Stream. In mid-November 2011, Poole broadcast live streams, one of which reached 21 hours in length, of Occupy Wall Street's eviction from Zuccotti Park. Poole's use of live streaming video and aerial drones during Occupy Wall Street protests in 2011 led to an article in The Guardian querying whether such activities could take the form of counterproductive surveillance. In January of 2012, he was physically accosted by a masked assailant. What? And then he did a thing, but he was planning something else. It was never filmed. And so on and on and on. Okay? He's been doing this. It's not his first rodeo. He's been doing this for 15 years. He's gained quite a following because of it. And he says here in November 2011, Poole told On the Media, I don't consider myself a journalist. I consider myself an activist, 100% there to support the movement. In October 2012, he told El Pais that I'm not an activist and described himself as a journalist. Well, who else does those two things? Oh, that's right. Aiden Carney, a.k.a. Turtleboy. Sometimes he's a journalist. Sometimes he's an activist. But what he never is quiet. What he never is quiet. And so what did he do today? After being flown down to West Virginia to film the TimCast podcast, he went live and he went nuts. Not in a bad way, just in his Turtleboy ranting way. Was it going to be a live stream or was it going to be filmed and then broadcast later on? I'm not really sure. Because like I said, been busy, haven't been able to watch anybody, including Aiden, okay? After joining Vice Media, Poole began producing and hosting content and developed new methods of reporting. In 2013, he reported on the Gezi Park protests in Istanbul with Google Glass, and on and on and on and on. Okay, he's been doing this for a long time. Sounds to me like he's a screamer. He's a talker. It was going to be live. Other people say pre-recorded. How about only the people who really know the answer? Recorded in the morning and aired tonight. Okay, that's what, like when I went on Lawyer You Know, that's what he did. We recorded it. I don't remember if it was the same day or the day before, and then he premiered it the next day. Turtleboy will benefit from this 100%, Kim, 100%. And all of the Haas defendants' mouthpieces are out there saying they really got him. It was going to be pre-taped. Good. So it wasn't going to be live. He could have edited it if he wanted to. And you know what that lawyer's letter did? It blew this thing up. I think Aiden's going to be there for two. I think he was there last night in West Virginia, and he's there again tonight. He's got 1,000 new subs or Twitter followers. Yeah, I'm going to read the letter for you. Don't worry. I'm going to read the letter for you. And there he goes. There's the Wikipedia page goes on and on and on. He's got another YouTube channel, TimCast News. I think that one has like around 2 million followers. On and on and on. If you think that he's going to be afraid of this lawyer's letter, I think what's going to happen is he's media savvy. This is an opportunity to blow this topic up, because what Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, much to his dismay, I'm sure, and Brian Higgins, who looks like he's being held there against his will when we saw them yesterday in the courtroom or whatever day it was, don't realize is that Tim Pool likely, and again, I don't know him, is not going to be a puppet for them the way that Michael Marcy was, and still may be, in my opinion. And so that's who Tim Pool is. You can go and look at his Wikipedia page yourself if you don't believe me, but it is my opinion, he's not backing down. Never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Thank you, Ann. Great idea. He lives in West Virginia. I don't even know if he was paying Turtleboy to be on his show. Probably not. Most people who go on other people's podcasts don't get paid. Now, let's compare and contrast Tim Pool with, hold please, Rotten Mango. Do you think Rotten Mango also got a letter warning her that if she platforms Karen Reed, she would be sued? Because boy, would I love to know. Rotten Mango has 6.45 million subscribers. Oh, how am I not subscribed? Oops, here we go. 6.45 million subscribers. My kids knew about Rotten Mango before I did. When I learned Karen Reed was going on Rotten Mango, I'm like, that's how my kids learned it. Even though I had been covering Karen Reed's case for 2 years, they were like, "Oh, Mom, is that case that you're covering all this time? Is that the one that's been on Rotten Mango recently?" And not when Karen Reed was on the show, but when Rotten Mango did her deep dive with her pictures and red thread and thumbtacks, push pins. Do you think anybody sent Rotten Mango the same sort of letter? Like, you better not platform Karen Reed or we're gonna come for you. Maybe they didn't. It didn't work. Oops. I don't think Karen Reed was paid for that. I don't think Karen was paid for appearing on Rotten Mango. And that's why I don't think, I have no idea, but I don't think that Aiden would have been paid for going on Tim Pool. But it was a good way to get the story out, right? Good way to fight against corruption. Good way to get more people involved in the story, get more people interested in the story, get more people to see the shenanigans, tomfoolery, and ballyhoo coming out of Massachusetts. Because if Tim Pool does pick it up and starts digging into it himself, oh boy, you better want what you wish for. That's true, Megan. Also, right. She didn't publicize her on the show, Karen Reed, until after they had already filmed it. And then she just dropped those really short shorts. Those really short shorts on her Instagram that didn't even have any dialogue, just with Karen Reed on it. Well, you want to see the letter? Sure. Let's take a look at the letter, shall we? And here we go. 80% of you tell me that you do not wade in the cesspool of Twitter. And so many of you may not have even seen this, but so many of you sent it to me. And I thank you for that. Oh, hold please. I didn't think it was real when you first sent it to me. I didn't even think it was real. I was like, this can't be real. No lawyer would write a letter like this. This is impossible. There's no way this is real. And once I confirmed it with my source and I knew that this was really real, I was even more blown away. And here it is. It's dated today, Friday, May 29th, 2026. After they knew that Aiden Carney, aka Turtleboy, was already in West Virginia getting ready to film his appearance on the TimCast podcast. Here it is. Dear Mr. Pool. F a what? F a what? Man in the mirror says, F a what? This is madness. This is madness. Your right to free speech is seriously in jeopardy. When lawyers go around threatening independent journalists, AKA YouTubers, with litigation, if they platform a certain person, all this is doing is proving Turtleboy is right. This is proving that Turtleboy is right. This is proving that these people will stop at nothing to try and shut him up. And doesn't that draw so much more attention to him? And doesn't it give even more credence to the things that he's been saying, to the things that so many of you were able to come to your own conclusions about based on following the evidence, watching 2 trials, 2 persecutions of Karen Reed, and coming to the same conclusion that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car and a car did not hit John O'Keefe? You want justice for John O'Keefe? This may be the way to get it. This may be the way to get it. Because now, not only do you have all of you watching and all of Aiden Carney's followers watching and all the other YouTubers who live in this Karen Reed upside down, inside out Narnia world, but now you're going to have a whole other creator with a total of like 5 million subs on YouTube between his 2 channels that are going to start learning about it too. And nobody likes to scream about more about injustice than I do, except for maybe Tim Pool. I don't really know. You tell me if you know who he is. Here we go. Dear Mr. Poole, we write on behalf of our clients, Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins, collectively the clients, who are plaintiffs in a lawsuit currently pending in Plymouth County Superior Court in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, captioned McCabe et al. Versus Reed et al. The action. It is now in Plymouth County because despite the fact that they tried so hard to file it down McCabe in Barnstable County, it got transferred yesterday to Plymouth County, like fully transferred, full on transferred without even a motion for a change of venue or anything. Got full on transferred to Plymouth County. So much for forum shopping, if that's what you were trying to do. I don't know. Did you think there was a friendly down there on the Cape? Is that the only reason that you let Brian Higgins in? You let him be a plaintiff? Or are you trying to control him by making him have the same lawyers that you do? Which, by the way, this letter might have just blown up your whole idea of who you want your lawyers to be. Because somebody on Twitter who happens to be a lawyer thinks that there may be a cause of action against these lawyers for doing exactly what they just did. Okay? Here you go. We understand that you have scheduled Aiden Carney, also known as Turtleboy, as a guest on TimCast IRL on or about May 29th, 2026. Today, we write to bring your attention. We write to bring to your attention information we believe is material to that decision and to the legal exposure you and TimCast Media Group may face as a result. I'm sorry, what? What is that you say? Do you think that this man, Mr. Poole, does not have lawyers on retainer, on speed dial with an enterprise and a platform and a company as big as he does? Do you think he doesn't have lawyers in-house on speed dial? Did you think he wasn't going to publish this letter to his millions of followers? Is that what you thought was going to happen? Did you think that he was just going to kowtow to you and zip it and not publish your letter? I'm sure that's the last thing that you thought was going to happen today. And again, you better want what you wish for, because now you have blown this up to proportions which you cannot even measure, in my opinion. Right there in the first paragraph is a threat. We write to bring to your attention information we believe is material to that decision, to your decision to host your own guest on your own platform, and to the legal exposure you and TimCast Media Group may face as a result. Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds like a threat to me. I'm sorry. You're saying if I have a certain guest on my show that you intend to sue me? Do you really think that that is going to sit well with Mr. Poole, who, again, I don't know. I'm just guessing. You are, of course, free to host guests of your own choosing. Oh, thank you for your permission, Mr. Maddie. Yes, smash the like button if you don't like threats. You are, of course, free to host guests of your choosing Our purpose is straightforward: to ensure that you and your counsel are fully informed of the facts before tomorrow's broadcast. Wow. Wow. Well, you know what's so funny about that is that it's dated today, May 29th. I think it was going to film today and then air tonight. I could be wrong. But again, you think you're giving him 24 hours notice, but you're not. This letter is insufferable. You should be outraged. If you're outraged and you're a member, we have an emoji for that. It's an I am outraged emoji. Bob Cromwell says Tim Pool is a multimillionaire. His attorneys will crush their attorneys. Even Bob Weir is here. He's like, this is wrong. You know it's going to get stranger. This is Shakedown Street, Bob Weir. We are on Shakedown Street. I have this Shakedown Street sign behind me for a reason, because this entire case is like Shakedown Street. This is like somebody's going to wake up with a horse's head in their bed if they host Turtleboy on their show. I've never seen anything like this before. Tim's producer is a cupcake and big free Karen Reed. Yes, really? I'm honored. I am honored. TimCast producer, I am honored. I love that for us. I'll allow it. Thanks for being here for 21 months, by the way. Oh, he wants to inform Mr. Poole of the facts. Look, of the facts. I'm informing you of the facts. Okay, so now you as an attorney are saying that these are facts. Okay, mistake number one. You are now drawing more attention to your clients, and you are saying that everything in your letter is a fact. Okay, here we go. One, the pending actions. On April 16th, 2026, our clients filed a 14-count civil action against Aidan Carney and Karen Reed, alleging defamation, civil conspiracy, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, among other claims. Yes, I know. We read it. It's 50 pages long with 60 footnotes. The judge wasn't happy about the 60 footnotes. It took me, attorney Melanie Little on YouTube, 4 shows and 20 hours of coverage to read that complaint to my viewers, because we clicked on every glorious footnote. Every footnote, none of the footnotes were time-stamped. They were all hours-long presentations, most of them, and articles written by none other than Aidan Carney, aka Turtleboy, 90% of which reinforced everything that Aidan Carney said, in my opinion, about those Haas plaintiffs, because now they're the Haas plaintiffs. Because every single one of them was in the Haas or the house at 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Massachusetts, on the evening of either January 28th, 2020. Well, I'm going to say all of them were there in the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022, because Colin Albert swears that he left at 12:09 or 12:10. And according to Allie McCabe, Colin wasn't there when John was there. So there's that. The Turtleboy effect. Somebody said in the chat. The complaint, a copy of which we enclose herewith, documents in extensive and specific detail a multi-year campaign by Carney carried out through his Turtleboy media platform and in concert with Ms. Reed to falsely accuse our clients of murdering Boston police officer John O'Keefe and of engineering a fraudulent criminal prosecution against Ms. Reed. Here's the thing, counselors, because about 4 lawyers signed this letter. These are allegations that you are now stating in your threatening letter to Mr. Poole as fact. And I don't know how many lawyers Mr. Poole has working on this today, but it's going to take them probably more than 20 hours to read this entire complaint and click on every footnote, because I did not let every footnote play out to its 4 or 5 hour glory. Okay. Our clients are private individuals. Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins testified truthfully, repeatedly, and at a significant personal cost during the Commonwealth's criminal prosecution of Ms. Reed. As the complaint documents, Carney's response to that testimony was not debate or legitimate criticism, but a sustained campaign of targeted defamation. He falsely and repeatedly accused these individuals of murder, obstruction of justice, evidence planting, and perjury, allegations that are false and that he promoted for the express purpose of financial gain from a dedicated audience he cultivated around the Karen Reed case. Well, here's the thing. Turtleboy had an audience for 10 years before Karen Reed's name was even uttered in a court of law. Aidan Carney didn't even start covering the Karen Reed case until the shenanigans had been going on for something like 15 months. And now you are stating in your letter to Mr. Poole that Aidan Carney is a liar, which one attorney on Twitter, well, riddle me this, folks in the chat. Is Carl Hungus on Twitter a lawyer? Is he actually a lawyer? Because I'm going to play his piece for you because it's really good. I don't know, but you guys sent it to me, and I think he's a lawyer, but I want to make sure that he is a lawyer. And now here you are defaming Aidan Carney by calling him a liar. This is not adjudicated yet. And here's what you also failed to state in your complaint here, in your complaint, the letter, is that Karen Reed was acquitted. Tried twice and acquitted. Let's go to page 2. Carney's conduct was not solely defamatory. It was also criminal. Oh, here we go. It was also criminal. Here's the thing. He hasn't been convicted of anything yet. Did you say that? Did you say his charges are pending? Oh, no. He says, they say he's been indicted on a series of witness intimidation charges arising from his mistreatment of our clients. Kara says, Tim Poole played the best pool with this. He directed many of his millions of followers right to Turtleboy. Those charges are pending. Oh, he does at least say that. Those charges are pending. Indeed, although Carney spread hatred and lies from his online platforms, he invoked his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination when he was identified as a witness in the second trial of Karen Reed. How dare he? We have a how dare you emoji. How dare he invoke his Fifth Amendment rights? Wow. You know what else? You know what other rights were invoked by your clients, Mr. Maddie? They lawyered up. They all lawyered up. Jennifer McCabe lied to the FBI. She lied to the FBI when they came to visit her in April of 2023, which, by the way, was before Aidan Carney even started reporting on Karen Reed. The FBI went to visit Jennifer McCabe. And I think that they found her in the street and she lied to them about who she was. She said she was her sister. And then she ran inside and then they called her and said, we want to speak to you. And she said she had to brush her teeth. And then after she brushed her teeth and finally did speak to them and tell the truth about who she was, they said, did you call anybody while you were brushing your teeth? And she said, well, yeah, I called 3 people. But the thing is, they got her phone records, I guess, is how they found out. And she really called 5 people. The 2 that she did not tell them that she called, one of whom was Brian Albert, coincidentally another plaintiff in this lawsuit, also a defendant in the Karen Reed versus everybody case, also a former Boston police officer who's the homeowner at 34 Fairview, whose lawn Boston police officer John O'Keefe was found dead on. Looked like somebody beat the shit out of him and then he had a dog attack. Or maybe it happened all at the same time. We don't know. Well, all we do know is John O'Keefe was not hit by a car and a car did not hit John O'Keefe. She lied about who she was. She lied about how many people she called. What else do we know? Oh, we know that Brian Higgins also, he printed up his own selective text messages. He brought them to his witness interview, which was held at, oh, that's right, his lawyer's house. something like 3 days after John O'Keefe was murdered. And you know what the funny thing about that was? The funny thing about that is that his lawyer's house, his lawyer's a man, and his lawyer is married to a sitting judge. So it was actually, the interview was done in a sitting judge's house, right? Am I getting this right, you guys? And then what had happened was, at one point, Colin Albert, he too had a lawyer because the FBI went to his college dorm room and served him with a subpoena to come and testify in front of a federal grand jury. I know, it's so crazy. And then after that, he dropped out of college because he said he was being harassed. But the funny thing is, I don't know if anybody was harassing him at that point. I really don't. But that happened. Oh, and then what else had happened is that Brian Higgins and Brian Albert both destroyed and or replaced their cell phones on the eve of a preservation order being handed down by the judge to not destroy their cell phones. Isn't that so crazy? Brian Higgins didn't just destroy it. He went to a military base because, he was just cutting through on his way home to the Cape. He went to a military base and then, he said he doesn't really remember how he did it, but if he did it, he might have cracked his SIM card in half and then put his SIM card halves in 2 different dumpsters. But he's not really sure how he did it, but he drives by there all the time because he gets a discount on JMO. And then Brian Albert was like, and he said he had to get a whole new, was he the one who had to go get a whole new phone number? Because he said that, he did undercover work. And an informant, a CI got his number, or was that Brian Higgins who did that? I mean, Brian Albert, because he worked in the fugitive unit of Boston PD. So I don't remember who did what, but I think Brian Albert had to get he got a whole new phone number. In fact, and you know what's so funny about that too, is that Brian Albert's name on all of the initial police reports were just like B. Albert and had like the wrong phone number or something. Like, I don't know, I'm summarizing now, but had like maybe the phone number that wasn't his, and then they changed it when he got his new phone. Like, it's so crazy. The coincidences and the behavior of these people is so crazy. But according to this lawyer's letter, everything Aiden said is a lie. He's the liar. He's the liar. Twiggy. Yeah, all the names were spelled wrong too in the police reports. All the witnesses' names were spelled wrong so that, nobody would find them. But there's no big deal about that. No big deal, because the lead investigator, who has since been fired, demoted, and called the most embarrassing chapter of the history of the Massachusetts State Police by none other than the head of the Massachusetts State Police, dishonorably discharged former trooper Michael Proctor. He was the lead investigator, but then they didn't really want to call him the lead investigator. So they called him the case manager or something, customer service rep, by the time the trial rolled around, because crazy thing happened. All of these crazy text messages were found in Michael Proctor's phone, in which he was completely denigrating Karen Reed, the defendant that they were trying to pin the murder of Boston police officer John O'Keefe on, the girl who they say murdered John O'Keefe with her car. Proctor had all these crazy text messages on his phone. Oh, and the other crazy thing was Michael Proctor's mother, she put on Facebook that the Albert family was like their second family. But Michael Proctor denied any relationship with them. And Colin Albert was the ring bearer in his sister Courtney's wedding when he was like, I don't know, 10. But there's no big whoop there, no big whoop. He didn't need to tell anybody about his relationship with these people. He just kept on investigating. He kept on investigating because he knew he had this case closed within 16 hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's really crazy. Once you look into this, Mr. Poole, I mean, don't take it from me. Please do your own research. Because you couldn't make it up if you tried. Hollywood writers' rooms couldn't even script this better. And when the story of Aiden Carney is made, and I do think it will be made, that's the story here, isn't it? The journalist who uncovers all of this stuff and blows the case wide open and then gets prosecuted for it by a selective persecution of the witness intimidation statute in Massachusetts. He didn't put a horse head in anyone's bed or anything. I mean, that's what witness intimidation statutes are designed to prevent, right? He went out with a bullhorn. And he asked some people to tell the truth about what happened that night in 34 Fairview Road. And he's facing something like, I don't know, 90 something years in prison for doing that. But I mean, Mr. Poole, you went down there, you broadcast live the Occupy Wall Street demonstration, so you know all about peaceful protests, right? He's just the guy named after a statue in Worcester, or Worcester, depending on where you come from, Massachusetts. Oh, please. So according to this letter, back to the letter now, I'm going to read that last paragraph again because it was fun. Kearney's statements about our clients are not matters of opinion or protected expression. They are factual accusations of serious crimes made without basis and causing ongoing and measurable harm to our clients' reputations, employment, family life, and safety. I don't know about that. I mean, I guess their safety was at risk when Turtleboy and the Glare peeked in the window of D&E Pizza and did the whole like T-Rex arms. And then Aiden was saying something to Chris Albert through the camera about, why did you kill a man? But you know what? The funny thing about that is Chris Albert really did kill a man. Chris Albert killed a man. What year was it, you guys? In a hit and run motor vehicle accident. He killed an exchange student by the name Peter Berger. Say his name, Peter Berger. And then he fled and turned himself in with his attorney 30 hours later. And you know what's so funny about that? Not really funny, because God rest Peter Berger's soul. Is that the attorney who represented Chris Albert all the way back in 1990, in the 90s, the attorney who represented Chris Albert is the brother of the judge in the Karen Reed trials. Judge Beverly Cannoni's brother represented Chris Albert. You know why? Because you just can't flip and make it up. And not only do we have Tiny Jesus with us here, 1994, thank you, R.I.P. Peter Berger, but Tiny Mary has now joined us. Tiny Mary is here. Tiny Mary is here. Don't worry. Tiny Mary is here. Oh, look, Alice in Wonderland is in that corner, and Tiny Mary is here. They both are dressed in blue and white. Is that a coincidence? I think not. I think not. It's a small world after all. That's right, KVD. It's a small world after all. It was 1994. Tiny Mary is here, and Tiny Jesus is here. And when you put them next to each other, actually, Mary looks a little bit bigger. I think I got a pack of 30 Tiny Marys. They're all different colors because, you know, we like a variety. Tiny Mary, pack of like 30 Tiny Marys. This was like $9.99. It's worth it. But I digress. So, yes, I guess his safety was threatened. Well, Colin's was, because I don't think Colin was closing up the pizzeria. I don't even think either one of them were there at the time. I think that they were watching their cameras from home, and they said that they were afraid for their safety. Because there were some other people when the rolling rally happened, you know, the protests I was telling you about earlier with the bullhorn, and some of the people weren't even home when it happened. Right? And as far as their reputations go, I guess you have to prove that their reputations were good to begin with before you can prove a damage to someone's reputation. And I'm just saying, I mean, Brian Albert was in a reality show called Boston's Finest, and I don't know if they portrayed him to be so nice. I don't know, because I never watched it. I don't know that anybody's lost their job in this bunch. Let's see, Jen McCabe, she was just a normal mom, just a soccer mom. She didn't have a job. Brian Albert, he retired, so he didn't lose his job. Brian Higgins, we really don't know what happened to him. He's an ATF agent. I don't know if he's been reassigned, rehomed, but as far as we know, he wasn't fired or anything. And I mean, Colin works for his dad at D&E Pizza. He can't lose his job either. So let's cross that off. Let's cross that off. Family life, as far as I know, they're all still together. I mean, I don't know anything about their family lives being disrupted, but I guess they're going to have to prove that. The pizza shop was closed, right? No one was there. I thought, though, I heard like at one point Colin might have been like cleaning up in the back or something. I don't know, Candace. I don't remember. Who can remember all of this stuff? Tammy says, what's so bad is that Mr. Betterow can't talk of this on Nurse Kim Sunday. You got me. I'm here. I'm doing the Lord's work. We're talking about it now. Of course he can't talk about it. He's been admitted pro hoc vice in Massachusetts without even a problem by Judge Gilday. He just took a pen and he was like, yep, Mark Betterow, you're in. You're in. see some. Look at this. Fire pilot's wife gifted 20 memberships. You guys are the kindest, most generous, snarkiest viewers on the tubes of you. And I love you with all of my heart. I really do. Thank you so much. That is so very generous of you. And then I see Shirley McMack coming in and gifting 10 more memberships. We're here and we're not shutting up. Nothing gets me angrier than people telling me to shut up. And they've been trying to do it for a long time. They're still trying. Thank you, Shirley. I love you. Here we go. And then Roman 2. Remember, lawyers bill every 6 minutes. And I don't know how many lawyers signed this, but how much money? What's the over under on how much money it costs the Haas defendants for their lawyers to write this letter? What do you think? It's single spaced. Carney's known and documented patterns of conduct. Listen to this. I'm going to read this in Chris Maddie's voice right now. Well, I don't know his voice because you know what he did? He came to the conference last week and he sat there and he didn't say one thing. The only one who talked, or the only one who spoke during the whole conference for the plaintiffs was Jimbo Tuxbury. I call him Jimbo now. Here's how they start Roman 2. We want to be direct with you about what Carney has done and what he's likely to do on your platform. Oh, $400? No, $5-6 grand minimum, or $2,227. True crime justice is 75 hunch. We want to be direct with you about what Carney has done and what he's likely to do on your platform. For years, through his blog, YouTube channel, and podcast appearances, Carney has accused Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins of being murderers. Oh, you mean he's accused them of doing it? Or he says that they actually are murderers? Which is it? Please be direct with me. What has he done? Has he accused them of being murderers based on his investigation and his deep dive and his receipts and their behavior and their testimony and every single document that he read in both trials? He's accused them? Or he stated for a fact that they're murderers? I don't know. Let's go on. Keep being direct with me, please. He has published their home addresses, identified their family members, tormented their children, and encouraged his followers to confront and harass them. Their home addresses were on public documents that were published many times by many people. I think I redacted everything. I usually do. He has done so while monetizing that audience through paid subscriptions, merchandise, and platform advertising revenue, building a business model that depends on the perpetuation of false accusations against private citizens. Mr. Poole is a YouTuber. Mr. Poole probably has merch, and Mr. Poole probably also has paid subscriptions and a platform of advertising revenue through YouTube. It's wild. We have every reason to believe that Carney's purpose in appearing on your program is not to engage in good faith discussion about the legal proceedings or his own conduct, but to use your substantial audience, which dwarfs his own, to republish the same defamatory statements that form the core of the pending action while reaching a new pool of viewers and generating new revenue. Wow. They just told us the quiet part out loud. They want to silence him. They don't want anybody else learning about this case than the people who already know about it. And they are in fear of the millions of subscribers that Tim Poole has. And God forbid more people learn about this. Don't you remember when Jennifer McCabe went into court asking for a restraining order or an HPO against Aidan Carney and said to the judge, can't you make him stop blogging about me? Remind me, was that something that was in the actual recording of the actual HPO hearing? It's on tape or microfiche or something. She did say that. And guess what the judge said? I'm sorry, I can't grant that for you. And then you know what else had happened? Chris Albert, the guy that I told you about that killed Peter Berger, the guy who also ran for town select board after the murder of John O'Keefe and won. So essentially, the town select board in Canton, Massachusetts, is the boss of the Canton Police Department. So after the murder of John O'Keefe, Chris Albert, who's the dad of Colin Albert, who owns the pizzeria I was telling you about before. I don't know, is it a pizzeria? Is it a sub shop? I mean, if it's not New York pizza, it's not really pizza. Fight me on it. That guy also tried, he went into court. He also tried to get a restraining order against Aiden Carney, and the judge wouldn't give that to him either. So Jennifer McCabe then started texting. Remind me who she was texting about this. Was it Michael Morrissey, the district attorney, and said, I know it's really late, but I can't believe that Chris didn't get it. Because, the other thing I forgot to tell you, Mr. Poole, is that these people, well, maybe not Colin, but definitely Colin's dad and Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert and Higgins all have a direct line to the district attorney, Michael Morrissey. Like a bat phone, almost like a bat phone. They didn't even have to send him smoke signals. They just could get right to him. We're going to watch a video after this too. That they suggested, I think, that Michael Morrissey make the district attorney defending them because they have been trying to get Aiden Carney to stop talking about them since he started all the way back in April of 2023. So that was like a little over 3 years ago because they're a very influential family in Canton. Brian Albert, who is married to Jennifer McCabe's sister, Nicole, aka Coco. They were 7 children who grew up right in that house at 34 Fairview. From what I understand, 6 of them were boys. And, everyone wanted to be friends with them, I guess, or be with them or be with them or marry them, or they were afraid of them. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, they've been like ruling Canton for decades. Jennifer McCabe was best looking in high school. I mean, this is like a long-standing thing. It's crazy. Oh, she is married to him. No, was at the time. I think she still is. I don't know anything about it. About whether they're divorced or not. I just meant at the time she was married to Brian. I have no reason to think that they're not still married. That's not what I meant. I'm just trying to explain to Mr. Poole the facts. It's hard to do in a short show, And so they all have a lot of influence and a lot of power, and they've been trying to get everyone to get Aiden Carney to stop talking about them for 3 years, and now you're on the list. Now they're trying through their lawyers this time to get you to stop talking about them or to not even start. Because if you do host Aiden Carney on your show, what they are telling you in very plain language is they will come for you. Let's keep reading. Here's what they say. Indeed, as recently as this week, Carney has continued his defamation campaign by publicly and falsely describing our clients as cop killers and bragging that he had exposed who the F they are and what they did. Based on his documented conduct, any such appearance on your show presents a concrete risk that specific, false, and legally actionable statements about our clients will be broadcast on your platform. Oh, wow. Low comps at the hillside. Low comps. Yep, low comps at the hillside. Okay, so you're saying, counselor, that everything that Aiden Carney has said is false. You're calling him a liar. You're not even saying that you're alleging that he's a liar. You are blatantly calling him a liar, which may open you up to some torts. Torts was my favorite class in law school. That's why I became a civil litigator, because I love torts. I love John Tortorella too, which, can you keep me posted on the score? Of this, wait, hold on. No, I'll do it. I have it right here. I'm just going to refresh. Oh boy. The Canes are up 5-0 over the Habs. I told you I was going to have a problem on. First of all, hockey playoff season is my favorite season of the year. Okay. The Rangers sucked this year. They weren't even in it. That's my number 1 team. That is my go-to. John Tortorella used to coach the New York Rangers, and he now coaches the Vegas Golden Knights. That's true. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to the Stanley Cup. Okay. Torts got fined $100,000 a couple weeks ago because he didn't do the handshake and he wouldn't do a media conference after he sent a couple guys into the conference. He got fined $100,000 and he lost his appeal. And I love that for us. I love Tortorella. He's the greatest. I'm rooting for the Canadians. I'm rooting for the Habs because Marty St. Louis used to play for the Rangers. I used to go to a lot of fundraising events for the Rangers. I got to dig up my picture with Marty St. Louis. And it was awesome. Matt Zuccarello and me and Marty St. Louis at a poker table because the Rangers used to do like a casino night thing. I have a lot of pictures with a lot of people. One day we should just do like people who have met me pictures. Phil Mickelson. I got pictures with a lot of people. All right. Anyway. And that was like before, well, that wasn't before cell phones, but like my Bob Weir pictures, like those are old. Torts is a Massachusetts guy, right? He's got the Boston accent, right? Yeah. You know it, Bob Weir. Remember when we met at Gathering of the Vibes 2008? Wasn't that so fun? Bobby. Remember when we met that time in the Boulder Marriott at the hotel bar when you were playing that show with Jackie Green and Jackie Green was there too? And I picked up the bar tab for you and you were drinking Oban and soda the whole night. And I'm thinking, why am I picking up the bar tab for Bob Weir? He's got many more $1 million than I do. But I never told anybody about it until just now. And that was like, I don't know, 15 years ago. All right, let's move on. Roman 3. Your platform's potential legal exposure. Well, thank you so much for giving out legal advice that nobody asked for. If you were smart, you would have let Aiden go on that show. And you would have let Aiden go on that show because you knew, apparently, you know exactly what he's going to say. And that would have given you some more causes of action to your defamation case. But instead of letting him do what he does, and I've told you this before, if Aiden was my client, I'd be kicking him under the table all the time, telling him to STFU. He's uncontrollable. We all know that about him. Many of you love him for that. If you were smart, you would have done that. If you really cared about your case, you would have done that. It would have made your case stronger. But instead, you chose to pick up a pen or your word perfect and draft a letter charging God knows how much to threaten a huge podcaster to potentially tortiously interfere with Aiden Carney's business relations. We'll get to that after. We draw your attention to the well-established principle that a broadcaster or publisher who permits a third party to defame another with knowledge of or reason to know of the defamatory character of the statements may itself be liable for the harm caused. This principle applies with particular force, whereas here the host has advanced notice of a guest's established pattern of defamatory conduct. They're like, we're warning you and we're threatening you. And now, in my opinion, they are substantially interfering in Aiden Carney's business. The restatement second of torts, section 578, provides that, quote, one who repeats or otherwise republishes defamatory matter is subject to liability as if he had originally published it, end quote. Critically, section 581 sub 2 further provides that one who, quote, broadcasts defamatory matter by means of radio or television, end quote, is subject to the same liability as any other publisher. Courts applying these principles have consistently held that a platform's liability does not turn on whether it generated the defamatory statement, but whether it broadcast or published that statement to a third-party audience with the requisite knowledge or fault. And they're saying, we're warning you. We're warning you. Take this as your notice. You can't claim you didn't have notice that he was going to do this because our clients paid us hell a lot of money to notify you. And they're citing this restatement second of torts from 1965. When we had, I don't know, 6 channels on television and the rest of them were static, and they changed into colored bars at a certain point during the middle of the night. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Moving on. Don't worry, I see you, super chatters. I will get to you. A lot of new members here tonight. Thanks, Ginger. Thanks, Charo. Elaney. Think you're going to like it here. And if you don't, just smash the like button on your way out. Oh, please. In West Virginia. Oh, see how the next paragraph starts off? We know where you live. We know you're based in West Virginia. So in West Virginia, Crump v. Beckley Newspapers, Inc., a case from 1983, reaffirmed that publication to a third party is the operative act giving rise to defamation liability, and that all who participate in that publication bear responsibility proportionate to their involvement and knowledge. See also Bine v. Owens, another West Virginia case in 2000. See, they had to do all the research on these West Virginia cases. See how quickly the hours can add up when you're paying lawyers by the hour? Because this doesn't fall under the contingency bubble. Can you imagine Jennifer McCabe calling up screaming, you better write them a letter. You better write them a letter. You better. She must be like the client from hell, in my opinion. Make them stop talking about us. This case from 2000 says a party's airing of another's false allegations gives rise to a triable defamation claim. The Fourth Circuit held similarly in Ruber versus Food Chemical News, Fourth Circuit, 1990, where the court concluded that publishers who have reason to know that they should refrain from publishing the statements at issue are not shielded from defamation actions. Again, this is your notice. See also Murphy v. Boston Herald, Inc. from 2007. An original publisher of defamatory material is liable for subsequent republications where, quote, the repetition was authorized or intended by the original defamer, or the repetition was reasonably to be expected, quoting the Restatement of Torts from 1977. We acknowledge that platforms hosting live or real-time programming have invoked certain defenses in this area of law, but those defenses are grounded in the absence of advance notice and the impossibility of meaningful editorial review. And again, they're saying we're giving you advance notice, even though for you to read and properly research the 50-page complaint and click on all 60 footnoted hyperlinks would take you days and days and days. We're putting you on notice. Mitchell, you win the internet, Mitchell. Jen McCabe should Google Haas to make it stop. Haas to make it stop. Well done, Mitchell. Neither consideration applies here. You have now received written notice in specific and documented terms that Mr. Carney has a years-long pattern of making false and defamatory statements about identifiable private individuals, that those statements are the subject of active civil litigation, and that his apparent purpose in seeking your platform is to republish those statements to a wider audience. That notice is this letter. Well, first of all, you have no effing idea what it was that they were going to discuss. Maybe they were going to discuss some of the current topics that Tim Pool is already discussing on his show. How do you know? Do you have a crystal ball? Why do you assume everything is about you? Not everything is about you, Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert. Not everything is about you. And here's the other thing. The civil lawsuit has not been resolved either. Good luck proving that Aidan Carney and Karen Reed did not have a good faith basis to say every single thing that they said about your clients based on their own their own conduct, their own testimony, their own statements to law enforcement and lack thereof, and inconsistent statements. Good luck with that. I hope the check cleared before you sent this letter. We urge you to consult with your own counsel before making any decisions about Mr. Carney's appearance. Wow. Wow. Condescending. Again, do you not think that he had do you think that he does not have a staff of attorneys on speed dial, if not in his office? Yeah, you probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I think it's song lyrics. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, that's what we gotta do. Sometimes we gotta put pound cake up in the corner. The Mama's lemon pound cake. That's what this is like. Because you know what? I don't know. Is Tim Pool gonna make merch out of this? He might. Heather says millions more eyes on them. Wait till these people watch testimony and read court filings. Bailey Love says Canton pound cake. Free Saint Turtleboy says, what exactly is false? Colin was in the house. Jen did Google how long. Brian Albert did upgrade his phone. And Brian Higgins did destroy his phone. Oh, Scott's playing Whack-A-Troll. Oh, sweetie, you're going to have to pay more than $1.99 if you want to come in here and insult me. You're getting a little loopy tonight, don't you think? The trolls are getting loopy. Sherilyn says, no YouTuber with that many subs does not have a staff of attorneys, among others. Mm-hmm. That's right. They're urging him to consult with his attorneys. Oh, here's the ask. Here's the ask. Ready? Roman 4. Here's the ask. What we are asking. We ask that you, 1, review the enclosed complaint in full so that you understand the scope and specificity of the claims pending against Mr. Carney. Again, it took me 4 shows and almost 20 hours along with you, and it was fun. And 2, consult with counsel regarding your personal and your company's potential exposure as a republisher of defamatory content under applicable law. Oh, so if you have him on your show, we're not just going to come after you professionally and your company. We're going to come after you personally. Wow. What? Wow. I don't know, Mr. Poole, at all. Like I said, I don't know you, Mr. Poole, but I'm pretty sure you got some pretty big cojones, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to let attorneys like this push you around and tell you what to do with your content. I don't know. Cry more. Wow. Next page. However, if you choose to proceed, and this is on the Koskoff, and Beater PC, let ahead. Please. We ask that you take reasonable editorial precautions to prevent Mr. Carney from repeating specific false factual allegations about our clients. In particular, any allegation that they murdered, concealed the murder of, or framed Karen Reed for the murder of John O'Keefe. Well, somebody did, because John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, and a car was not hit by John O'Keefe. I mean, a car did not hit John O'Keefe. Our clients have endured years of harassment, threats, and reputational destruction because they did what every citizen is asked to do. They came forward, told the truth, and cooperated with law enforcement. I mean, Jennifer McCabe did lie to the FBI. They deserve, at minimum, not to have the lies told about them amplified further by a media platform with millions of subscribers. Oh, it's all about what they deserve. It's all about what they deserve. They're the victims here. They're the victims, you guys. They are the victims. And it's all about this. They don't want millions of more subscribers that have never heard of them to hear about them. The problem is Tim Pool published this letter because you tried to call his bluff. And I don't think it's going to work well for you. And I think that if Mr. Poole was really afraid, he wouldn't have published this letter. What do you think, chat? We are available to speak with you or your counsel at your convenience and can provide you with additional documentation as appropriate. Please do not hesitate to contact me. XOXO. And he even signed it in pen. It looks like, I don't know, pen and ink, like a well pen. You know, the pen that you would dip in the well that has a big feather on it. Christopher M. Maddie, Renee M. Mihail of Koskov and Beater PC. Oh, he did redact the address. And James, aka Jimbo Tuxbury William Fish Jr. and Kieran Murphy at Hinckley, Allen and Snyder. There were it took 5 attorneys to draft this threatening letter. Enclosure, complaint, McCabe et al. Carney et al. Barnstable County Superior Court. Oh, well, it's now been transferred over to Plymouth County, which coincidentally is closer to Norfolk County, which really is fucked. It's Norfolk County. And forum shopping didn't really exactly work out for them. A quill. Yeah, the quill pen. Thank you. Thank you, Joe Mar. I think it was Joe Mar who said that to me. Stephanie. It was Stephanie. Stephanie. I love you, Stephanie. Okay, here we go. All right. Thank you. We are the lucky ones. I appreciate you so much for being here for 4 months. And Stacy became a new member. Welcome, Stacy Face Travels. And Josie Lou became a new member. Welcome, Josie Lou. Follow the Echoes of True Crime became a new member. Welcome. Stacy says this is a classic case of witness intimidation. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Stacy. Chris K says if they have nothing to hide, why do they care? Great point. Don't go anywhere because I'm not done yet. There's more. Exactly. Thanks for being here for 7 months. Not Kelly Dever is here. She became a member because she knows it's awesome here. Creasy, Ohio, via Indiana says from Streisand to Afroman to Turtleboy, backfire much? Do you think that Tim Pool, Mr. Pool's going down the rabbit hole right about now? Call me Alice because that's in that corner. Lemon pound cake's in that corner. You all know why. Mama, she is here and she's awesome. And she says, so glad we're here together and so glad this is winning for hashtag free Dr. Turtleboy. Thank you so much. I meant to, and if I didn't, I have to go do it right now. Put in the chat, not in the chat, in the show notes below this video, the Turtleboy Defense Fund, which is up to, when I started this show today, it was at $429,000, $429,490. Hang on. Well, I'm going to put it in the show notes right now because listen, good legal representation is not cheap. And he's got the best. I just got to go into my notes and see if it's there. You may need to refresh your browser to get it. And I also linked below in this video, if you want to catch up on the lawsuit, the defamation lawsuit filed by these Haas plaintiffs, the link to my playlist is also below this video. Hold, please. Everyone get on over there and donate. How about $22.70 for 227 or $227 or $2.27. I don't know if there's a minimum on Give, Send, Go. Thank you, Mama She, for your 10. Lake Winnie, Mama Bear. Oh, Lake Winnie, Lake Winnie Pasaki. Lake Winnie Pasaki. Thank you for covering this tonight. I love you, Mel. I love you more. Most talkative says Tim addresses this at the beginning of the video that's on now. Oh, that's exciting. Is it in a good way? I'll allow it. Sai says Tim's producer is a cupcake and big free count read. I love that for us. Thank you for being here for 21 months. I don't play other people's content without their permission. So remember when a lot of creators were covering Afro Man and people were playing his songs and then everybody got stricken? I don't want to do that, but I will trust you. And if you guys go back later, because don't leave me now, because we ain't done yet. We're even close to done. Watch Tim IRL's video from tonight, and you will hear him talk about it in the beginning. Hang on a second. Oh, please. Yeah, no, I can't. I can't, Next Witness. I'm not going to watch his stream because I don't want to be stricken for copyright. So I don't know him, and so I wouldn't play his content, just like I do with every single creator that I play. I have their permission, like Next Witness. I have your permission. I know it's okay. I don't know that with him. And what happens is if you get stricken, you have to cut it out of your video. And then when you cut it out of your video, YouTube reposts it, but then you lose the live chat. So I'm not doing that. Sorry, I just can't do it. Coming soon to a theater near you. Jen McCabe starring in The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, says Gen XAM. Thanks for your 5. Single mom out of 4 crazies. Oh, I'm sorry about your crazies. It gets better. They get older. Wait, so Maddie's biggest flex is winning versus Alex Jones, a case that my 3-year-old could win, and he still doesn't have his name on the letterhead. Well done. He's not a named partner. No, it doesn't seem that way. I think that was also a default judgment. I think that Alex Jones defaulted. Thanks for your 5. Stacy says, Melanie, someone mentioned on his live stream that this is a classic case of witness intimidation. What do you think? Well, I don't know that Tim is not a witness to anything. And so I don't think that the attorneys of the Haas plaintiffs are intimidating him because he's not a witness to anything. So I'm not sure if that's where you're going. I mean, like this letter. No, but what I do think is that this letter could be a classic element of the tort of tortious interference with business relations or tortious interference with contract, which we'll get into a little bit also after this. And also, they may have made themselves witnesses by defaming Aiden Carney directly, the attorneys. And if Aiden were to file a lawsuit against the attorneys, well, then they'd be precluded from representing any of the Haas defendants. So they may just have screwed themselves by making their own lawyers subject to a defamation case by Aiden Carney. Like, it is so twisted what is happening here that I understand if you don't understand it. But hold on one second. All right. Carl Hungus said this. This is Carl Hungus on Twitter. I think he's a lawyer, but just let me check. Hold on one second. I don't know. Can anybody confirm whether he's a lawyer or not? This is a great point, though. So I'm going to give him credit for it as I play the video for you. Oh, please. So thank you, Stacy, for your 10. But let's move on over to this. Tom Gully says, Tropical Storm Melanie is heading for Norfolk County on a Friday night. Hashtag fight the good fight. Hashtag Cupcake Nation. Thank you, Miss. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Mia. Mia for becoming a member. And Cassie Baby says, this letter made me donate more to Turtleboy's Defense Fund. It is pinned in the show notes below this video. Okay. You may have to refresh your browser to get it. But Carl Hungus said on Twitter 4 hours ago, here we go. Dr. Turtleboy now has the option to sue the author of that letter for per se defamation, which also conflicts him or her, or actually all 5 of them, because 5 attorneys signed it, off the McAlbert suit. Details in the video. Okay, Carl. You know, I like to credit people for their work. So hold on. We're going to do that now. Here you go. I present to you Carl Hungus from the cesspool of Twitter. Seems like a nice man.
What up, fuckers? Let's talk about Turtleboy and the TimCast.
Sorry, I can't. Trigger language. Trigger language. I usually don't curse on this show, but I might tonight. Hold on.
Fiasco. Today, Tim Pool was going to host Aiden Carney on this TimCast show until Tim got a threatening letter from the McAlbert's attorneys claiming that they were going to sue Tim if he had Turtleboy on and if Turtleboy said defamatory things. Okay, this is good news, and this is why. This was an extrajudicial statement made by whatever the attorney's name is. I forget.
There was actually 5.
It was extrajudicial. Just means it's a conversation that an attorney had with, in this case, Tim Pool. And Tim Pool received the letter, received the statement, acknowledged it by virtue of canceling the visit with the show with Aiden. But in the letter, if you'll notice, it says, it's on the first page too, second or third paragraph. The attorney clearly makes a declaratory statement of fact that Aiden is lying, has lied, is defaming, and there's a chance that he will do that on the TimCast show. Well, that is a tortuous statement.
Tortious.
It defames Aiden, per se.
Tortious.
Calls him a liar. Liar is per se defamation, which gives Aiden the opportunity to file a counterclaim lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit against the attorney, because the attorney is writing the letter. If you read it, they word it. They are the attorney of record for the McAlberts, no doubt about that, in the defamation lawsuit against Aiden. But the letter is written extrajudicially. It's just a letter from an attorney's office who takes the position that Aiden is lying. They don't.
Right. There's no litigation privilege for that. Also, Mrs. Reasonable Doubtfire, you might win the internet tonight with this. She says it's all tortoise interference. Misbehaving in Florida is telling me something that I probably should know, but I don't. Carl Hungus was the fictional pornography in The Big Lebowski. See? I didn't even know that. Here you go.
Don't say my clients allege. The attorney says the verbiage in the letter owns the allegation of a lie against Aiden. That makes them open to tort, which means Aiden, as a strategy and as a tort, can file a lawsuit, counterclaim against the lawyers by name, not just the McAlberts, but yes, now the lawyers. Think about that. You know what that means? That means the lawyers are now witnesses in the same cluster of lawsuits and cannot be the McAlbert's lawyers anymore. I'm not kidding. Unless there's some bizarre civil rule of procedure in Massachusetts that prevents something like this, which is not likely because this is pretty standard, fair tort law. Aiden honestly has an opportunity to sue probably the entire firm because the letter is written on the letterhead of the law.
2 firms.
But it's a letter declaring as a matter of fact that Aiden is a liar. And the statement is coming from the author of the letter, not my clients allege that he has lied. It is just matter of fact, he has defamed my clients. So they are owning the statement of fact that Aiden is a liar. That's textbook per se defamation. I would sue immediately and move to recuse the attorneys on record that are associated with that letter for conflict.
I mean, go subscribe to Carl, Karl Hungus, Hungus on Twitter. Blow him up. He's got 2,351 followers. Go to it, cupcakes. Anybody can get stuff done. It's use guys. Everyone click the like button while we're thinking of it. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Thomson Reuters now for our law lesson. And we are going to look at the elements of tortious interference in Massachusetts. Thomson Reuters gets it right. They do the law. They do they do their research. Thomson Reuters practical law. Tortious interference in Massachusetts. Here's the elements of tortious interference. 1. What are the elements of a claim for tortious interference with contract rights in your jurisdiction? Do litigants or courts in your jurisdiction refer to this type of claim by another name? For example, tortious interference with contractual relationships? Under Massachusetts law, the elements of a claim for tortious interference with a contract are that 1, a valid contract exists between the plaintiff and a third party. 2, the defendant knowingly induced the third party to break that contract. 3, the defendant's interference was intentional and involved improper motive or means. And 4, the plaintiff was harmed by the defendant's actions. Let's read on. Courts and litigants in Massachusetts sometimes refer to a tortious interference with a contract claim as a claim for tortious interference with contractual relations. 2, what are the elements of a claim for tortious interference with business relationships in your jurisdiction? So you don't have to have an actual contract. Do litigants or courts in your jurisdiction refer to this type of claim by another name? For example, tortious interference with prospective or existing business advantage. See, it doesn't matter if you have a contract or not. Under Massachusetts law, the elements of a claim for tortious interference with a business relationship are that 1, an advantageous business relationship existed between the plaintiff and a third party. Okay, so yes, is it true that if Turtleboy went on TimCast's show, I mean, they told us that in the letter that he has millions of followers, and that's exactly why they don't want Aiden to go on his show. So clearly there was an advantageous business relationship there because they said so in their letter. Between the plaintiff and the third party. The third party is Tim Pool. 2, the defendant knowingly induced a break of the relationship. Well, of course they did because they told their lawyers to write a letter. The lawyers themselves wrote the letter. The lawyers themselves wrote the letter. Righted. There's no righted. There's nothing's being righted here. All the wrongs are being completely blown up and made more wrong. Nothing is being righted here at all. Don't let me confuse you. The defendant's interference involved an improper motive or means. Well, yeah, threatening litigation, warning Tim Pool that he better consult with his lawyers. You know, just trying to help you out here, just trying to point out a couple things. Let me be very clear. And the plaintiff was damaged as a result of the defendant's interference. Seems to me all the elements are met. But what do I know? What do I know? I'm just, I've just been a civil litigator in New York state and federal courts for more than 30 years. I took on the Catholic Church. And yes, my clients were paid in the end, even though it was more than a 20-year fight. Remember the movie Spotlight? Yeah, and the reason you won't find any public record of that, moronic Twitter lawyers, is because it was confidential, the settlements. The lawsuits got thrown out of court on statute of limitations grounds because at the time they were filed in 2002, New York was the most pedo-friendly state in the country. If you could keep a kid quiet long enough, you could never be sued and you could never be criminally charged with child abuse, sexual exploitation, clergy sex abuse of a child. And so it took almost 20 years to change the law. But then the Child Victims Act was enacted and all those cases came back to life. They all came back to life. And then the Diocese of Rockville Center decided that they were going to, out of the goodness of their Catholic hearts, pay any of the plaintiffs whose claims were revived out of the goodness of their hearts. So those of you who think you're Twitter lawyers and call me a liar because you can't find any public record of the settlements, there's a reason for that. And so there you go. There's tortious interference with business relations. And that is exactly what these lawyers did, in my opinion. But wait, there's more. Because not only, let's get to D.A. Marcy's hostage video in a minute, because there's a lot of people to thank. Be careful what you wish for. Free Turtleboy says Cupcakes of Justice. Cupcakes for Justice. Thank you for your 5. Lina loves Trials, became a member. Thank you, I guess, Jess, for being here for 10 months. I love you with all of my heart, too. I love you with all my heart, too. Who do I think you are? You know exactly who you are. You're a mother. But you're not that person's mother. Stop acting so loopy tonight. It's just crazy and so unbecoming. Genosaurus Rex Esquire says, very succinct rant. I love you all. Thank you for your $25. I appreciate you so much. Sandy Girl in Florida has been here for 25 months. I love you, Melanie. Keep fighting the great fight. Oh, listen, there's nothing I hate more than injustice. Cupcakes for Justice gifted 5 memberships because she's amazing. And LMP69 says, FYI, Tim Pool's show isn't pre-recorded. It runs live at 8 p.m. Thank you, Sweet Pea. He's got 2 channels. And I think that Aiden said it was going to be recorded and then it was going to run later that night. So I know that he does do a live show, but I don't think that Aiden's was one of those. Okay? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. CFS, thank you for your 20. And not even a question. Texas Sister 2 says, are you going to cover the Carmelo Anthony murder trial? It's big in Texas. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. When does it start? Is it starting soon? Thank you for your 5. Well, please. Oksana is here. Thank you for your 20. Says, you give life, Queen Melanie. Thank you for going live tonight. You knew we needed this. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Are you coming to Cancun? CFS says, it would set a bad precedent if Tim Pool bends the knee. It would, wouldn't it? Annie, thanks for tuning in from across the pond. Says, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. Mark Twain. Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. Thank you. Arlene says, love your snark. Keep preaching the truth. We love you. I love you more. CLMK says, I hope Mr. Poole invites Turtleboy back soon. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes right now? We don't know. Southern Grit says, Tim's show is always pre-recorded on Friday night. Thank you. Thank you. Lawsuit may not work as well in Virginia. I don't know. I would have to look at the law in Virginia, Pierre. So thanks for being here for 29 months. And Mateo, not Feo, became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. If anybody can find out or knows who this person has already paid me, I don't know, I think $10 you're up to, troll, I think, but now you're blocked. Aaron Turner, Mom 5457, Lonely Memorial Day for Melanie, no kids, blacks, or man. Well, today's not Memorial Day, jackhole. Keep paying me money to read your inane comments. Most of them have just been deleted. But if you're going to keep paying me to insult me, at least $25. Has anybody watched Margot's Got Money Troubles? It's with one of the Fanning sisters, Elle Fanning. And if you have kids in the room, put earmuffs on them. And Michelle Pfeiffer is in it. Michelle Pfeiffer is the mom. And she decides she needs money because she has a young baby and she doesn't have a job. And she decides, Elle Fanning, that she's going to go on OnlyFans. And her thing is she's a writer. And so she wants to use her writing skills in addition to the OnlyFans. And so what she does is she has guys send her dick pics. And then she insults their dick and writes a little blurb about which Pokemon their dick reminds her of. And they pay her like $50 per. So, I mean, if you're going to come on me and insult me, at least make it $50. At least $50. You loser. Seriously, Issue says, you know why they won't give Quebec City an NHL team? Because Montreal will cry for one too. Hold on a second. Oh, well, I got the Habs scored a goal. It's 6-1 now with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left. 6-1. And if the Canes win, they're going to the Stanley Cup if they win tonight. And that's okay. Shirley McMack says, I think Turtleboy's issue could be an anti-slap suit in Massachusetts. He should seek out Steve's attorney, Fustolo versus Hollander. I don't know who that is, but thank you very much, Shirley Micmac, for your 50. You're super generous. See, the thing is that trolls are super cheap. And as we learned the other night from a viewer who paid money to tell me that NA beer is EBT card eligible on Amazon. So at least they got that going for them. Except I don't think any of them are sober. I don't think so. Thank you very much. Gray space. I was going to ask, can Aiden countersue for tortious interference? He wouldn't even need to countersue. It could be like a whole separate lawsuit. It could be a whole separate lawsuit. Thank you for your 5, gray space. And next witness says, what do you think a guy like Tim Pool will do next? Leave it or investigate? Love is spice. Of course he's going to investigate it. What do you? The guy got famous by going down to Wall Street during the Occupy Wall Street protests. Remember? Crazy. Thank you, next witness 320. And if you're not subbed to next witness, please go do it. She does amazing work. She or he? I think it's a she. Amazing work on reaction videos and a lot of other fun videos. And so get on over there and sub up. Weird Debbie says, I'm so livid. Thanks for going live. My pleasure. I mean, that troll is still stuck on Memorial Day. That person is living 5 days in the past. Still hammered? That's why you're so loopy, because you're still hammered. Stand with Mel. Thanks for your 10. I've been trying to figure out what the side eye look between Jen McCabe and Brian Albert was about. Do you think they were worried a gag order was not being put into place? Cue the letter right after the hearing. I don't know. They were both like, yeah, looking at each other. Something about the 29th. It was something about the 29th, right? It was something about the 29th. And then they both looked at each other. And today's the 29th. And today was the day that Aiden was supposed to film. Right? Wasn't that right what they were talking about? Hang on. Might have to go back and watch that part again. Thanks, TJP, for becoming a member, and Stand With Mel gifted 5 memberships because she's amazing and because Mel is the best name ever. Mel is also the character in Your Friends and Neighbors. Are you guys watching that? So good. I love it. John Hamm. University of Denver Law is not the worst tier law school, you dumb, cheap effer. So wait, so now you're going to insult my law school too? DU. You're a loser. You are such a loser. You're the one sitting here on a Friday night, and you've already paid me what, $12 to try and insult me and my law school? Like, get a grip on yourself. Why are you so sad and lonely? I mean, I could see. Oofa. Oofa. Yes, the 29th. Ding, 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 ding. Right. And Jay Cathy says, so the House defendants are trying to shut down free speech? Of course they are. They don't want anybody to know about them. They tried to get Turtleboy to stop blogging about them. They tried to ask the judge to make it happen. They tried to make Mike Marcy make it stop. And look, we're gonna watch that now. This is a great segue. Thanks, Kathy. What about the Fifth Amendment? By the way, Melanie, how much do you think this letter cost the House amendment? At least $5,000. At least. I agree with you, Kathy. Thank you for your 10. Mateo Notfeo says, this show is legendary, and I am now a proud member of your channel. Oh, welcome you so much. And Kathy, I welcome you too from New Jersey. Stand with Mel says, people will defend injustice when it's safe to do so, but when a person defends injustice, when their own freedom or reputation is on the line, that is by definition a hero. Thank you, Turtleboy. Thank you for your 10. Amanda says, glad we're all on this wild ride together. You've been here for 15 months. I love every minute of it. Yippee Friday with Melanie. Hard week. Love. Thank you. Thank you. It's a crazy week. Thanks for being here for 25 months. Let her on, but better. Oh, hey, girl. Hey. Fear of exposure is not witness intimidation. Remember, winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. That's just the way it is. Thanks, Kim. Kiki St. John says, in a world of idiots, be a Melanie Little. Oh, I'll allow it. Thank you so much. And thanks for being here for 24 months, 2 years. Did you get your new cupcake, girl? Kelly says, I subscribed to Tim's YouTube. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I did. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. One of my daughters came home from college today, and we played the Chicago soundtrack the whole way home from the airport. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we did. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hold on. And we're going to go see Mariska Hargitay on Broadway if we can get tickets for that, because you know how much I love Stabler and Benson. Abacus Flinch says, do you think the McAlberts pulling this move will hurt their case to prove defamation when they try and violate Turtleboy's First Amendment rights? I think it might put their lawyers in a little hot water. But I can't. I mean, if you really think that Tim Pool was afraid of this letter, do you really think he would have published it on his Twitter? I didn't even look to see how many Twitter followers he has. Hold on a second. Hold on. He has 2.6 million Twitter followers, and as of right this very moment, that tweet that we read earlier has 721,000 views, 623 retweets, 1,700 comments, and let's look at it again. If you didn't see it from earlier, this is Tim Pool. He says, canceled. This morning, my lawyers received notice pertaining to Dr. Turtleboy and risk of legal exposure if we host him. The notice is attached. Thanks, Abacus. Flinch, via 20. Under advisement of counsel, we will not host him on IRL and must advise. Do not follow him or read what he is saying. And then he attaches the actual letter. Oh, you're going to have to do better than $2. You're going to have to do better than $2. You pathetic little, we're going to squash you like the bug you are. Do not follow him or read what he is saying. He attaches the letter. It's right there. 722,000 views so far. So there's that. Thank you very much, Teresa, for being here for 10 months. And also, I love you with all of my heart right back. I love you with all of my heart. Nate Taylor says, I'd like to see Turtleboy on Rotten Mango. She also has millions of followers. Yeah, like 3 times the amount that Tim has. Let's go back all the way back to August of 2023. I mean, this isn't their first rodeo, right? I mean, these people, Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Al, Brian Higgins, they've been trying to get everyone to make Turtleboy shut up. He first started reporting on the Karen Read case, and in turn, these people all the way back in April of 2023. And what had happened was the Haas defendants, the prosecution, the Commonwealth, via Mrs. Parks gifted 50 memberships. Are you flipping kidding me? I love you so much, girl. I love you so much. Adam Lally filed for a gag order in the Karen Read case back right around this time because Karen Read went on a show. I don't remember what show it was in 2023. And Adam Lally, through Michael Marcy, got really mad and tried to get a gag order, tried to get Judge Cannoni to impose a gag order on the lawyers. And it failed. It's one of the only things that the defense won was the lack of the gag order. And right after the gag order was denied, the district attorney, Michael, people call him Meatball Marcy, filmed what I call a hostage video because it looks like somebody's off camera holding a weapon to his head, in my opinion. Looks like he's reading a script. He filmed it in his conference room, not even a live presser, in his conference room. It's 5 minutes long. We're going to watch it again. And if you haven't seen it, buckle up, buttercups, because I've never seen anything like that. If you don't think these people have influence in this town and in this county, just watch this. You don't have to believe me. Watch this. This is a sitting district attorney. He has been the district attorney of Norfolk County, Massachusetts since 2010. He has run unopposed. He has run unopposed. He has never been opposed. So he has by default been the district attorney of Norfolk County since 2010. He's been in public service his whole entire life. I don't know if he's ever tried a case. This is Michael Marcy. I don't know what they've got on him. I don't know what secrets they have on him, but it may be they've got some. Mrs. Parks, you're amazing. She gifted 50 memberships. So whoever won a membership, thank Mrs. Parks. Wouldn't that be so funny if some trolls, wouldn't it be so funny if some trolls won memberships? I mean, then this moron could stop paying me $1.99. I might even get to chat for free. for free. Also, Tim Pool is friends with Alex Jones. It says, that's so Nelly. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, Nelly. Thanks for being here for 12 months. And Mrs. Park says, gifting memberships in honor of the Haas defendants and more poor choices. Happy Friday, yay, everyone. P.S. What's up with all these people using the same attorneys? Weird, yes or no? Or yes, yes. Yes, 100% yes. 100% yes. 100%. I was waiting all day. I even made a thumbnail for it. For Aiden and Karen's, well, Aiden's attorney said he was filing by today the anti-SLAPP motion. It was not docketed today, so I don't have it yet. That's what I planned to do tonight after all the other stuff that I had to do today. And then this, and then that. It was like a gift. This is like a gift. So thank you, Haas defendants, now Haas plaintiffs, for the gift that keeps on giving. Here it is. This is Michael Morrissey's, what I call hostage video from August of 2023. And if you look behind him, he's got the federal reporters, you can see, in his conference room, but they're all out of order. Look, this would bug the crap out of me. 413, 415. They're all out of order. They're supposed to be in numerical order. They're all out of order because, they don't even use them. They don't research anything. They just make shit up as they go along. If you've never seen this before, Michael Morrissey made this statement. He emailed it to a bunch of journalists, local journalists in Boston, and said, I'm not taking any questions, but here's my statement that I have recorded for the ongoing persecution of Karen Read. This is before trial number 1. This is only 4 months after Aiden Carney started publishing articles about the Karen Read case. Okay. Are you ready for it? Because Mr. Poole, I hope you're still watching, because I've never seen anything like this in my more than 30 years of practice. A sitting district attorney filming a hostage video in his conference room and then disseminating it to the media to talk about how much bullshit a defendant's defense is. Listen up.
This will be the first statement of its kind in my dozen years as Norfolk District Attorney. The harassment of witnesses in the murder prosecution of Karen Read is absolutely baseless.
That's exactly who he's talking about. Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert. It's absolutely baseless. When in your lives, have any of you ever seen this in the history of the world? It's baseless. Listen, because he's going to go on. Listen, count up how many times he says John O'Keefe and how many times he says Colin Albert.
Should be an outrage to any decent person, and it needs to stop. Innuendo is not evidence. False narratives are not evidence.
False.
However, what evidence does show is that John O'Keefe never entered the home at 34 Fairview Road in Canton the night.
Can you say tainting the jury pool much? The first trial would not happen until April of 2024. And he's outright saying that Karen Read's defense is baseless and that the evidence shows that John O'Keefe never entered the home at 34 Fairview in Canton. This is outrageous. It sounds like he's recording on the toilet. Yep. Wow.
Is that John O'Keefe. Innuendo is not evidence. False narratives are not evidence. However, what evidence does show is that John O'Keefe never entered the home at 34 Fairview Road in Canton the night he died. Location data from his phone, recovered from the lawn beneath his body when he was transported to the hospital, shows that his phone did not enter that home. 11 people have given statements that they did not see John O'Keefe enter the home at 34 Fairview that night.
I mean, we have dissected this video a million times, but recently I saw it come up that who were the 11? You can do the math in your head. But he's calling Karen Read's defense a false narrative. He's tainting the jury pool. And he's telling us about the evidence. That wasn't even really the evidence. 11 people gave statements that they did not see John O'Keefe entered the home. Doesn't mean he didn't. Doesn't mean they're telling the truth, sir. I know you've never tried a case, I don't think, in your life. Maybe you never have. Doesn't mean they're telling the truth, sir. Doesn't mean they saw him. Maybe he went in a different way. Maybe he went in the backyard. We don't know. But we do know is that evidence shows that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, and a car did not hit John O'Keefe. We do know that. Thank you, Charissa, for gifting a membership.
0 people have said that they saw him enter the home. 0. No one. Some have, without any evidence, pointed to 18-year-old Colin Albert, a nephew of the homeowner, and accused him of attacking John O'Keefe as he entered the home. But phone evidence shows...
Some have, without any evidence. If you listen in the background, you can hear what sounds like an old-fashioned, like, school projector, like a reel-to-reel projector. Tell me if you hear it or if I'm just crazy. I don't think, I mean, I could be crazy. Who knows? A lot of people think I am crazy. They also think John O'Keefe was hit by a car. Listen. Some have, without any evidence. Who? Aidan Carney? You tried so hard to get the feds to prosecute Aidan Carney because you had a conflict and you couldn't do it. And Andrea Campbell was like, hell no. You tried to get other counties to prosecute Aidan Carney. They wouldn't touch him either. So what'd you do? You went out and you hired a guy by the name of Ken Mello, one of your buddies, to come in and prosecute him. We don't even know if he's still among the living. I still need proof of life on him. He recently assaulted a nurse down in Fall River where he lives. And then I don't know what happened to that. It just kind of poof, went away. So then you had Cosgrove, Triple Dip Cosgrove, step in because you couldn't get anybody else to prosecute Aidan Carney because these people have been begging you. Aidan Carney, by the way, Mr. Poole, if you're still watching, or if your people are watching just to see what I've got to say, Aidan Carney went to jail. Aidan Carney was thrown in jail for 60 days because of these people. Because they really, really, really wanted to shut him up. They tried to jail him for 90 days. And there's text messages showing how they tried to set him up between Tully. He's like one of the guys from MSP. Mello, that guy I was telling you about before. Tully, Mello, somebody named Mafia Masshole on Twitter, who is the not so confidential informant for the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. They were all colluding to jail Aidan Carney, and it worked. It's crazy, right? Some have, without any evidence. Yes, some. Aidan Carney. Who else? Karen Reed has litigation privilege. Who else?
No one. Some have, without any evidence, pointed to 18-year-old Colin Albert, a nephew of the homeowner, and accused him of attacking John O'Keefe as he entered the home. But phone evidence shows O'Keefe never entered the home at all. Testimony from witnesses tell us that 18-year-old Colin Albert had left his uncle's home before John O'Keefe and Karen Reed had arrived outside the residence. There was no fight inside that home. John O'Keefe did not enter the home. Colin Albert, the young man being vilified, was not present when Reed's vehicle and John O'Keefe arrived on the street. This is a false narrative. Colin Albert didn't commit murder.
He's reading off of a paper. He's reading a script. Who scripted this for him? His phone did prove. Yes, you're right, Chair Walker. His phone did prove that it was possible that he went into the house. Ian Whiffen said so in trial number 2. Crazy. 11 people didn't see him on the way out. They didn't see his body on the lawn. Lisa reminds us, nobody saw his body on the lawn. How far would you go to protect a family member? Would you lie? Colin Albert did not commit murder. Tell us everything.
False narrative. Colin Albert didn't commit murder. Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, and Brian Albert. These people were not
Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert. 4 of those people, well, not Matt, 3 of those people are plaintiffs in the lawsuit that we're talking about right now, the defamation lawsuit. You know who he never mentions in this hostage video? Brian Higgins. Right? Never mentions Brian. Brian Higgins looks like he's being eaten alive by guilt. He's like a ghost sitting in the courtroom because we watched that video of the court appearance the other day that they all showed up for. They all sat in the back pew like it was some kind of photo op. So listen to that again, because he's never going to mention Brian Higgins.
Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, and Brian Albert. These people were not part of a conspiracy and certainly did not commit murder or any crime that night.
How do you know? Because they told you that? Because for some reason, somebody's got a firearm to your head off camera to make you read this? Who does this? Who does this? What do they have on him? What does someone have on him? No one saw him on the lawn. I mean, this is insanity. And I've seen this a million times. And every time I watch it, I get more blown away.
They have been forthcoming with authority, providing statements, and have not engaged in any cover-up. They are not suspects in any crime. They are merely witnesses in the case.
You wouldn't even prosecute Matthew Farwell for the murder of Sandra Birchmore and her unborn baby because your cops are so corrupt. That also happened in Canton. The feds had to come in and prosecute that. Don't even get me started on Sandra Birchmore's murder. You still have not brought state charges against Matthew Farwell. And so he's sitting in federal pokey in Rhode Island waiting for his trial. That happened almost 1 year to the day before the murder of John O'Keefe. You don't investigate anything or anyone. Your cops cover up for each other. We see how it goes. It happened 1 year before this. Of course, they're not suspects. There was never any other suspect except for Karen Reed. There were no other suspects because nobody was investigated. Oh, and Mr. Poole, if you're still watching, by the way, even though a dead body was found, a dead cop's body was found on the lawn of another cop, the scene was never secured. They took his body away. They got a leaf blower. They blew some snow away. They found a couple of pieces of clear glass. They didn't find 47 pieces of red taillight. They left the scene unsecured. And then, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 hours later, they came back in the dark and they found a couple of pieces of taillight and a sneaker. That happened too. Dead police officer. In New York, everything stops for a dead police officer. Doesn't matter if he's on duty or not. Give me a break.
To have them accused of murder is outrageous. To have them harassed and intimidated based on false narratives and accusations is wrong. They are witnesses doing what our justice system asks of them. The autopsy of John O'Keefe was conducted by a forensic pathologist from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner.
Oh, yes, it was.
The doctor found that the injuries that left John helpless in the cold were not a result of a fight. She further...
Okay. Here's another weird thing, Mr. Poole, another weird thing. The medical examiner who did the autopsy on the body of Boston police officer John O'Keefe, God rest his soul, apparently somebody told her to say these injuries were not the result of a fight. You know what else they weren't the result of? A fire, burning in a fire, drowning, a fall from a scaffolding. The injuries were not caused by a whole hell of a bunch of things. And you know what else they weren't caused by? A car accident. They weren't caused by a pedestrian versus motor vehicle car accident. Because in my more than 30 years of handling thousands of car accident cases, including pedestrian versus motor vehicle accidents, I have never once ever in my career, ask any injury lawyer, seen a pedestrian versus motor vehicle accident in which there were no injuries below the neck. Okay. Other than what looks like a dog attack or an animal attack of some kind to the decedent's right arm. The cause of death on the death certificate has been and still is undetermined. Not homicide, undetermined. The medical examiner who did the autopsy said in trial number 2, she did not see any injuries consistent with a car accident. Isn't that right? And then one of the expert witnesses said, well, the car didn't hit him, so it doesn't matter. Dr. LaPosada, our queen, Dr. LaPosada. Yeah. Yes. And Olivia Nile is here. She knows all the facts way better than I do. And she says, despite the fact that Yuri Buchanan actually called the office of the medical examiner at 10:41 a.m. on January 29th, 2022, to report that they were now investigating it as a domestic assault by cocktail glass. That's right. They did. Remember? And then don't you remember? I think it was Paul O'Keefe. I think it was John O'Keefe's brother who said to someone, I don't know, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was someone else. Remind me if I'm wrong. That he saw John's body and it looked like he went 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. Somebody said that, right? There was no hypothermia or frostbite. Nope. None. Nope. Shannon says, I don't care how many times I've heard this. It gets more disgusting every single time. Yeah, she said they were not the result of a fight. There were also text messages from that guy, Michael Proctor, that I was telling you about earlier, in which he was complaining to his other troopers that despite the fact that he and this guy, Yuri Buchanan, went to visit the medical examiner or tried to get her on the phone to talk to her like 3 times, she still, that whack job, he called her a whack job, still wouldn't change the cause of death. And then there was a guy named Trooper DeChico who said, amateur or rookie, something like that. You should have had me and Jeff do it. Insinuating that perhaps there have been other times that they have tried to strong arm a medical examiner in that office. Crazy, right? I know, it's so crazy.
Found that when not a result was conducted by a forensic pathologist from the office of the chief medical examiner. The doctor found that the injuries that left John helpless in the cold were not a result of a fight. She further found that the line of abrasions on his arm was consistent with blunt trauma, not an animal attack. A grand jury of everyday citizens heard the document.
Yeah, it was an exploding taillight. It was an exploding. This is what they tried to show at trial, that it was an exploding taillight, and that the taillight pieces exploded, and then all at the same time scratched John's arm, all in the same exact direction, except for his shirt had little just bite marks in it. It wasn't slashed. His shirt wasn't slashed. He was wearing a long sleeve shirt over a short sleeve shirt, and there were just little puncture holes in the shirt. But the wounds to his arm were like scratches or dog bites, because I had a dog bite expert on my show who actually teaches dogs how to attack. His name's Garrett Wing. He's on YouTube. He's got like over 2 million subs. Also, just like you, Tim Pool. And Garrett Wing came on and was like, absolutely 100% a dog attack. Let me show you some other dog attacks and what they look like. And let me show you the prosthetic arm that we use to teach dogs how to take down criminals. And he said, of course, that's clearly dog bites. A grand jury of everyday citizens. Okay, this is so inappropriate and ethically improper. It's wild. Blunt trauma. What blunt trauma? You hear the
A grand jury of everyday citizens heard the documented evidence and testimony before making a decision. The subject of that murder indictment enjoys the constitutional presumption of innocence. Why should the witnesses who have committed no crime be afforded less by members of the community?
I'm sorry. Now you're schooling your members of the community? You just told everyone that Karen Reed is perpetuating a false narrative and that her defense is bullshit and that 11 people said John didn't come in the house and that the cell phone forensics show that he never went in the house. You're not affording her the presumption of innocence. You are trying to convict her in front of your jury pool, sir.
They should not be harassed for telling the government what they heard or saw.
Government.
I'm asking the Canton community and everyone who...
They heard and saw nothing. They heard and saw nothing. None of them saw John O'Keefe's dead body on the lawn after they left. And if your theory is correct, John O'Keefe was hit around, I don't know, you kept changing the time. Somewhere around 12:30 to 12:45, the time kept drifting in your theory. All those 11 people left, or however many left after that time. Nobody saw his body on the lawn. And you're not afforded the presumption of innocence when you haven't been charged with a crime, sir. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. That's right. He's going to ask the Canton community.
Who feels invested? I'm asking the Canton community and everyone who feels invested in this case to hear all the actual evidence at trial before assigning guilt to people who have done nothing wrong.
Spoiler alert. There is none. There's no evidence that John O'Keefe was hit by a car. There's none. There's a guy who was hired. His name is Judd the Dud Welcher. I don't know how much did they pay him in the end. $400,000, who put some blue paint on his arm and went out there and sourced all of the exact pieces of clothing down to the underwear that John O'Keefe was wearing. And he cosplayed John O'Keefe with some blue paint on his arm and pretended to get hit by the car. They also bought an exemplar car. Like, it was wild the amount of money they spent to prove this ridiculous experiment. And oh, I forgot to tell you the other thing. So their theory is that Karen Reed backed up, I don't know how many feet, 60 to 80 feet at 24 miles an hour, mind you. Like she's some kind of Mario Andretti, right into John O'Keefe on purpose. And that his arm hit the passenger taillight, rear taillight. His arm hit it. That's when the taillight exploded and caused all those scratches on his arm. Then he did a pirouette, and none of the bones in his arm were fractured. Not even bruised, just bloodied.
And certainly, before taking it upon yourself to harass citizens who evidence shows have done nothing in this matter but come forward and bear witness.
Bear witness to what? Tell them the guy never went in the house. Oh, that came out in the group text messages too. Matt McCabe said, because, remember the pizza place I told you about before, Mr. Poole? Yeah, so Chris Albert apparently was at the pizzeria, and one of the news cameras came in, and so they had this little group text message between Jennifer McCabe, her hubby Matt McCabe, Brian Albert, and who was the fourth in that text chain? Maybe Nicole Albert. They had a little group text message thread, and somebody said, "Oh, news cameras just came into D&E," and then somebody said, "Tell Chris to ask some questions," and then I think Matt said, "Tell him the guy never went in the house." Tell him the guy never went in the house. You know what's so crazy about that too? Here's another thing. I mean, so many things I got to tell you. The other thing is that I think it was that very same day. Was it the very same day that WBZ or whatever news channel it was reported on their news piece that investigative sources say, or I-Team sources say, that investigators said that there's ring camera footage of the incident and Karen Reed's vehicle was seized? People surmise maybe Chris Albert told them that. I don't know. Kind of came out like that same day, right? They retracted it like a year later or 2 years later. But you know what's so crazy about that? Because I'm sure, Tim Poole, you're very, very, very aware of what happens with the media and how things go like lightning fast. The Daily Mail picked it up same day. And it was worldwide within minutes. Like the Palisades fire. Spread like wildfire. Let's hope Spencer Pratt wins. That's all I got to say. Clean up LA. Yes, Olivia says, yes, Melly, they reported that notably after Chris Albert spoke with them, but right after. Curious, huh? It's so curious. That's why I'm Alice. Call me Alice. I fall into these rabbit holes. It's insane. Here we go. They did nothing but come forward and bear witness, but they didn't witness anything, sir.
We try people in the court and not on the internet for a reason. The internet has no rules of evidence. The internet has no punishment for perjury. and the internet does not know all the facts.
Right.
Conspiracy theories are not evidence. The idea that multiple police department, EMTs, fire personnel, the medical examiner, and prosecuting agencies are joined in or taken in by a vast conspiracy should be seen for what it is, completely contrary to the evidence and a desperate attempt to reassign guilt.
What are you doing?
Michael Proctor, the state police trooper, being accused of planting.
Okay, let me remind you that Michael Proctor was fired for his conduct in this particular investigation. Crazy, right? I know. But here he is in August of 2023 defending Michael Proctor. Listen.
Michael Proctor, the state police trooper, being accused of planting evidence outside 34 Fairview Road, was never at Fairview Road on the day of the incident.
That's crazy, you say. That's crazy, you say. You mean the lead investigator doesn't even go to the scene where the Boston police officer was killed? What? That's impossible, you say. Of course it is. He never even went there. He didn't need to because he knew exactly what he was going to do. According to Alan Jackson, he was going to pin it on the girl.
Proctor and his state police partner traveled together the entire day while other officers were processing 34 Fairview. Trooper Proctor was not there and did not plant evidence at 34 Fairview Road. In addition to having no opportunity to plant the evidence, as has been suggested, Proctor would have no motive to do so. Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation and had no conflict.
Oh, this didn't age well. This did not age well. He had no conflict. He's been fired. He's been fired for his conduct in this case, for his lack of investigation in this case, for his bias in this case, for his misogyny in this case. And you know what else? There are so many other defendants that are now going to be affected by Michael Proctor's phone dump because now they have 12 years or something of a phone extraction from Michael Proctor, some of which is so bad that it caused Sean Good, another responding officer to this alleged crime scene, to be suspended. And that's been going on for 6, 7, 8 months. Why is it taking so long, you say? Oh, I don't know. Probably because they don't want his text messages becoming public, especially during this case, the new defamation case and the Karen Reed versus everybody violation of my civil rights case. They don't want Sean Good's text messages to be discoverable. God only knows what he said. It came out in a recent hearing in a case called, I think it was Sean Johnson, Commonwealth versus Sean Johnson, Rosemary Scapiccio. She's a queen. If you ever saw Trial 4 on Netflix, she was the lawyer. It came out during one of those hearings that Michael Proctor texted, I don't remember to who, if it was to his buddies or to his high school buddies or to his trooper buddies. Hey, everybody, it's kill an N-word in Canton Day. Get on down here or something like that. Kill an N-word in Canton Day is what he said. Come on down. Rosemary Scapiccio's defendant, in that case, Michael Proctor was also the lead investigator, happens to be black. Yeah, why did Marcy have a secret phone? Great point. I mean, it's really hard for me to tell you everything, Mr. Poole, in only 2 hours and 15 minutes, but I think we're doing a pretty good job. Oh, we didn't even get to all the butt dials and the butt answers and the 227 search, Haas long to die in cold that Jennifer McCabe's phone made, 2:27 a.m. before his body was even found. It's just crazy.
And he had no reason to step out of this investigation. Every suggestion to the contrary is a lie. This should be seen for what it is and not used as a pretext to attack and harass others. What is happening to the witnesses, some with no actual involvement in the case, is wrong. It is contrary to the American values of fairness and the constitutional value of a fair trial. It needs to stop now.
Needs to swap.
I am releasing this recorded statement rather than holding a news conference because my remarks need to be so narrowly tailored to the issue at hand while the prosecution is pending in Superior Court.
Also, because I don't want to take any questions. I don't want anybody questioning me.
But the message is the same. What is happening to these innocent people, these witnesses, is wrong, and it needs to stop.
Stop. There it is. If you never ever saw that video before, can you just put a 1 in the chat? If you never ever saw Michael Morrissey's hostage video before, put a 1 in the chat. And I want to see how many of you. There's over, I mean, look at this. We're at 11:20 p.m. on the East Coast. We got over 6,500 people in here. So there's got to be some of you guys who have never seen this before. YouTube turns. Thank you for your 20. Theory. Maybe they wrote the letter to TimCast hoping Aiden will file a lawsuit. Therefore, they have an exit from the McAlberts. And in the long run, it will cost less money on a case that could be bankrupt their firm. I don't know. I mean, why would they risk a lawsuit against themselves, right? You think they're looking for a way to get out of the case? I mean, we've talked about this a lot. Like plaintiffs' attorneys don't get paid until the case settles if it's collectible, if it settles, or if there's a verdict that's collectible. But I mean, that is a theory. M says, Tim Pool just got a sub from me. Thanks for tuning in from down under and for your super chat. I appreciate you so much. Sharky says the letter seems highly incompetent if a lawyer really wrote it. It's on their letterhead. Like when you guys first sent this to me this morning, I thought it was a joke. I thought there's no way this could be real, but it's real. It is real. Thank you for your 10. Mrs. Parks in the house says, thank you for your 50. She says, let's get Melanie to 135 subs during this live and I'll give 50 more memberships. Let's shine a light on this BS. Oh, you're the greatest. You're the greatest, baby. You're the greatest. Wait, and it looks like, did she do it? And she says, or 4,000 likes or 135,000 subs, I'll give 50 more memberships. We are outraged in honor of MM hostage video that he made for the hostage defendants. You can't make this shit up. And she did. She gifted 50 memberships. So whatever it is that she asked for, you guys must have done it. You guys are amazing. It's raining memberships. Mrs. Parks is such a sweet pea. She doesn't always speak up when she's here, but I know she's always here. She's amazing. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. Yeah, we need Cardi B. This calls for Cardi B. Hang on a second, because sometimes we need our girl.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, I'm here.
Oh, you're the greatest. You know what? If you haven't heard it, there's a song that was made from some of the trial quotes and stuff. It's called Bang Bang. Also from some of Colin's quotes and stuff. And I'm going to let it play in the background while I'm reading out the rest of these super chats, because of course I am. At the very end, you can hear my voice. You'll hear Emily Baker speak a couple of times before me. And I was in the room when Alan Jackson first heard this song, and he likes it.
I'll call this Bang Bang. Seriously? I will fuck you up.
By our friend Varys.
I will beat your ass.
The Goodmans gifted a membership.
Pull up, bitch.
Kai's been here for 13 months.
I will fuck you up.
She says, I'm so late, but I'm glad you're covering this. Mark, thanks for your 20. Excellent job presenting for Tim and everybody else now.
I will fuck you up.
That's what we do. Nancy Sinatra. Mark says another 20, Melanie on fire on the mountain.
You're a bitch, bro. I will fuck you up.
Robert B gifted 10 memberships. He's amazing too.
I will fuck you up.
LMP, thanks for your 20.
The bang bang, the bang bang.
Says I knew a car didn't hit John, but I watched the Darrell Brooks trial, and I heard from victims what their injuries were. He was driving at roughly the same speed they said Karen was driving. I knew it was all BS.
The bang bang. Pull up. The bang bang. The bang bang.
I love sarcasm said, destroying phones on military bases. Thanks, Overruled. Sit down. This didn't age well. Aunt BB's here. Thanks for your 50, girl. Google Sean Lowe from The Bachelor. He rescued a boxer and the smoke alarm set the boxer off in March 2025. The injuries on his arm appear, in my opinion, to be identical to Officer John O'Keefe, 2490. We all love Mel After Dark.
Mr. Alley, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth called Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand.
Lead investigator.
state your name and spell your last name for the jury.
Michael Proctor, Proctor.
You're a bitch, bro. I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going
Oops.
to allow it.
Thanks, Aunt BB.
I will fuck you up. I will
Jim says,
beat your
enough of
ass.
corruption.
I will fuck
Goes back
you
to
up.
Epstein trafficking girls. Local cops protect EAIs. Thank you, Jim, for your 10. Mrs. Parks gifted 50 memberships earlier.
Pull up the bang bang, the bang bang.
Don't forget to tell him about the inverted video, says Mel. That was crazy. You really got to watch the trial for that one.
The bang bang, the bang bang. Pull up the bang bang, the bang.
Me and my
bang.
mom,
Pull
Cindy
up.
Cindy, love you, says Stacy Facey. Hi, Stacy and Cindy. I love you back. Thanks for your 20.
We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit.
We ain't got no quit.
Outrage.
Bang, bang, you shot me down, says Kurt Smith. We are outraged. We have an emoji.
Ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit.
A lot of new members tonight. Use your emojis.
Outrage.
Oh shit.
That's Emily.
We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit.
We are outraged.
Thanks, Deanne. Here, I'm coming up soon.
We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit.
We are outraged.
I am outraged.
That was me.
We ain't got no quit. We ain't
Thanks,
got
James, for
no
gifting
quit.
5 memberships. I love you so much.
We are outraged.
Outraged.
We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit.
I mean, does the crazy never end? No, it doesn't. It never ends. And we're still here. And we ain't got no quit either. That's the thing. There was this inverted video that was shown during trial when Yuri Buchanan was on the stand. Thank you, James, again. And the thing is that they showed a video of Karen's car inside the Sally port. Remember, I told you it was the right rear tail light that was broken that they said attacked John's arm, causing those dog bite injuries to his arm. Well, so what had happened was Yuri Buchanan was on the stand and he authenticated the video when he was asked by Adam Lally, is this a fair and accurate representation of the way the Sally port looked on January, whatever day it was, or February of 2022? And he was like, yes, it is. And then on cross-examination, of course, the defense team noticed that the video was flipped, it was inverted. So what looked like the passenger side was really the driver's side, and what looked like the driver's side was really the passenger side. And then when Yuri Buchanan was called out on it, and Alan Jackson said, wait a second, isn't that inverted? Yuri said, well, you know, it's like you know, it's like you're looking in a mirror, you know, like everything's just like flipped around, you know, it's like everything's still there, but you know, it's just like inverted, like a mirror or something such as like that. I'm summarizing, but like with a straight face, you have to watch it for yourself because I can't even do it. I can't even do it right. Elaine, thank you so very much for your very generous 100. She says, I'm here for Melanie After Dark. Yes, you are. I wouldn't have it any other way. Shannon, thank you for your Venmo. Says for the defense fund, she says that it's up. Aiden's defense fund is up over $3,000 since the Tim Pool post. That's amazing. Thank you, Shannon. Susie bought 5 matcha lattes. Says we love you. Oh, that's a very sweet. This is a very sweet compliment, Susie. Thank you so very much for that. Sharon, thank you very much. Says for entertainment tonight. Love you, Sharon. Carla, if you are blocked, you need to just send me another email with your channel link in it. Your channel link. YouTube's been wonky. It's been blocking people lately. I can't look up your name. I got to do it from my phone, and it's got to be with your actual channel link. You have a channel link. You just got to find it. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why. YouTube has been very strange. Thank you for also buying me a matcha latte. I appreciate you, Carla. And Laura, thank you very much for your Venmo. Says we ain't got no quit. The McAlbert effect is spreading this like wildfire. I love you, Laura. I love you so very much. For those of you who are here in the chat, please tell me some more things that I might have forgot to tell Mr. Tim Pool, because I'm sure he doesn't have, 20 hours to go through the entire complaint and click on all of the work that Aiden Carney did. So if there's anything that I have left out, by all means, feel free to put it in the comments and also put it in the chat. Jody, thanks for your 20, says Queen Melanie, thank you for your relentless coverage, standing up for truth, justice, and our freedom of speech. God save us from the Commonwealth. Turtleboy and Karen Reed. God save Turtleboy and Karen Reed. Thanks, Jody, for your 20. Texas Sister says Carmelo Anthony trial starts on Monday. Is it going to be televised? Listen, I tried to, I was all in. I was all in on trying to televise the Alvin Campbell Jr. trial in Massachusetts, and they pulled the cameras out day one. So I have to look into it and see if it's going to even be televised before I can even let you know. How long is the trial going to be? It's a very busy month, graduations, weddings, all those kinds of things. And so I can't, no cameras. Okay, so if there's no cameras, how can I cover it? How can I cover it? Oh, Blissful Essence says, Duty Ron sent me a few years back. He has good taste. Thank you. Aunt Bibi says, Melanie, the sweatshirt and the x-rays. Well, I said the sweatshirt had puncture holes in it. And they forgot to turn over the x-rays, which showed no fractures in John O'Keefe's arm. Thanks, Aunt Bibi. Yeah, and then Judd Welcher was like really surprised because they didn't give him the x-rays, right? Nurse Pink Lola, I think. Oh, yeah, there was a little hair that survived through a blizzard being towed. That's not even the worst of it, though, right? Everyone, if you can, donate to Turtle Boy's Defense Fund. Is linked in the show notes below this video. He's stuck in West Virginia because they flew him there. The TimCast podcast flew him to West Virginia, and then they got this threatening letter from Chris Maddie and 4 other lawyers, and Boston Girl bought 3 matcha lattes and says, thanks for all you do. I'm getting lots and lots and lots of matchas. Lots of matchas. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about cutting up the SIM card on the military base. The video, right? Video from the library went missing. Here's the thing also about these civil cases, that civil discovery is so liberal that especially like if you're the plaintiff, like Colin Albert's iCloud data is all going to become discoverable. And if it turns out that it conflicts with what he said on the stand, or any of them, if any of them said stuff on the stand that is contradicted by their iCloud data, it could lead to, charges. I mean, if they can persecute Aiden Carney for witness intimidation, they can certainly persecute people for perjury in Norfolk County, can't they? Yes, mentioned 227. Haas Long to Dying Cold was searched by Jen McCabe's phone. Is there anything else that I wanted to tell you? I don't remember. Yes, your sister's not answering the phone. That's right. That's the thing that I say too. I mean, who has a sister? Does anybody have a sister in the chat? And if you pulled up to your sister's house, because it was Jen McCabe's sister's house too. If you pulled up to your sister's house and she was not answering the phone, and your friend that you invited to the party last night was dead on the lawn, wouldn't you run like hell into the front door to make sure that the entire family inside the house, your sister and her family, was safe, especially since Brian Albert was a Boston police officer in the fugitive task force unit. So he was chasing dangerous people all the time, and she didn't answer the phone, and she never even went in the house. Bang, bang, slap, slap, bang, bang, stop, stop. Thank you, Cupcakes, free of 5. And yeah, the glass, there were pieces of glass found by the leaf blower, but then they didn't match. And there was glass on the bumper that didn't. There's too much, Sharon. We can't even. You've been here for 31 months. You know it all. Queen La Posado, if you know, you know. I love you with all my heart. Thank you so much, Nurse Pink Lola. Thanks to you guys for coming here and hanging out with me for 2.5 hours. I mean, we got this done a lot faster than we thought it would, especially since I had a late start today. And so I thank you so much for coming and spending your day with me. I can't even, your evening. It's an evening. It's Friday. I don't even know what day it is anymore at this point. Nobody came out of the house with all the lights and sirens on. Nobody came out of the house. Nobody came out of the house. Crazy, isn't it? My thoughts on this, my final thoughts on, they got rid of the dog. Oh yeah, that's right. How could I forget that part? Yeah, so the thing is this, they had this dog, Chloe. It was a German Shepherd. It had been their family pet for something like 7 years. And then Chloe wasn't there the next morning when Jen McCabe ran into her brother-in-law and sister's bedroom to tell them that John was dead. But the funny part about that is that Brian Jr., who was having the birthday party that night, Beej, when he was lawyered up to go give his statement, I don't know, 18 months later, he said that when he came down for breakfast, Jen McCabe was there and his mom and dad were there and Matt McCabe was there. And they told him that John was still alive and they were taking him to hospital. Jen McCabe said she burst into the bedroom to tell Brian and Nicole that John was dead. And they were like, what? Who's John? I mean, I don't know if there's any cops or law enforcement in the chat, but do you sleep with like a gun on your nightstand or in your nightstand or something? Like if somebody burst into your room at 6 a.m. Also, the doors weren't locked. He just like didn't even lock his doors. And he had no cameras, no security cameras. Oh, they didn't even look for Ring camera footage. They didn't ask the neighbors or anything. It was crazy. It was so crazy. Like you would think, are these the Keystone Cops? Is this like a joke? Are we all in on the same joke here? Yeah. So they got rid of their dog. And in fact, when Jen McCabe burst into the bedroom, nobody shot her, first of all. And also, second of all, the dog wasn't there. And they said the dog always slept in their bedroom. And then after that, they rehomed their dog. And also their dog had bitten people before. It had a history of attacks, which is crazy. And then the dog was just missing. The dog was rehomed. And they referred to their dog as It, actually, during the trial too, which we also thought was kind of weird. Oh, and Jennifer McCabe said, that she thought the FBI was no big deal coming to visit her. It was just like, when you're a little kid, when like the ice cream truck would come. There's so much. We can't even cover it all. We can't even cover it all. Because you know what? I got an early call time in the morning. Hang on. So two says, how about Karen connecting to John's internet at the same time they accuse her of hitting John? Yeah. 1236. She connected to the Wi-Fi at One Meadows. It's crazy. Thanks for your 5. And Mrs. Parks said, when I tried to explain all this to Mr. Parks over 2 years ago, he thought I had a stroke. Is he fully versed on it now? Mrs. Parks, you are so generous tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to every single one of you who spent your time with me. You're very generous with your time. You're very generous with your super chats. I know you'll be generous to Turtleboy's Defense Fund. Let's see what it's up to right now. Refresh. I don't even know where I wrote down how much it was. $429. It's up a little over $1,000. This isn't a fundraiser, so what are we going to do? You guys are giving. You're all giving. Somebody said, hey, McAlberts, thank you for threatening Tim Pool. Just makes me donate again. Keep going with your intimidation. You're so scared, but I would be too. Must suck no. And every day for years to come, the FBI or new DA could be coming for you. Remember, Donna Adelson was arrested 10 years later. Well done. From an anonymous donor calling themselves allegedly. Somebody else under the username Hockamock Sports donates and says justice for Turtleboy. Somebody else from here went in with $10 and their username is 227 TWOTOO7 spelled out. You're amazing. Journalism is not a crime. All day trending. Turtle Riders ain't got no quit. Free Turtleboy. Hold on. Let's see what's trending now. Let's see. Well, Jen McCabe's not trending anymore. She's not going to be happy about that. But today's news, Tim Pool cancels Turtleboy interview after legal warning and Karen Reed case is up to 15,000 posts. So keep them coming. Get on out there. You're all doing the Lord's work. And Turtleboy is just defending free speech for all of us. Sherry says, butt calls, right? Butt calls, butt dials, butt answers. Missing dog. Homeowner doesn't come outside after the body's found on the lawn. Officer's phone's missing the day before this was turned in. You know it. You know it, Sherry Dunn. Thanks for your 5. Who dares wins? Thanks for your 20. Says, Albert family must be connected. Or mafia family. I know 20 years karate class whitey gang. Thank you very much. For your 20. They assume you know nothing, says Good Friday Night Show. Thanks. I had to get on here, just not jump on here last minute and do it. Thanks for your being here for 9 months. Jenny Lulu says, just imagine what must have been on those phones. Well, what we learned from Michael Proctor is that the iCloud data is always there because it's been there since 2012 for Michael Proctor. And now that these people are in litigation as plaintiffs, they're going to have to turn over their iCloud data. And so despite the fact that Brian Albert got a new phone, I'm pretty sure they can still get it if it was an iPhone. Right? Crazy how it's going to all come out. It's all going to come out. And the only way that they can prove their innocence, really, the only way that they can prove that Turtleboy's a liar and that they did not have anything to do with the murder of John O'Keefe is to turn over all of that data. That's the way to prove themselves innocent. They can turn over all their data. They're going to have to anyway. So really, if they really wanted to prove that they had nothing to do with it and Turtleboy's a liar and he's defaming them and Karen Reed and he conspired to frame them, they're going to have to turn over all their data and all of their location data. That's the only way that they can prove it. You think? Thanks, Christina, for becoming a member, and Heidi for becoming a member. You've been here for a long time, Heidi. Been here for a long time. They're so afraid, and it's so obvious. And guess what? Your scare tactics might not work with everyone. They worked with Michael Morrissey, clearly. I mean, we just watched the hostage video. They didn't work with two judges that you tried to get restraining orders with. And I have a feeling they're probably not going to work with Tim Pool. I don't know him personally, but you've just made this the Streisand effect, which is now turned into the Afro Man effect, which eventually one day will probably be known as the Turtleboy effect. That's it. That's all I got for you tonight. I love you guys with all my heart. If I don't see you soon, I'm going to die. But hold on a second, because I forgot some of these. Josie Lou said, in Norfolk County District Attorney's Office is guilty until proven innocent. That's right. Thanks for your 10. Fervent is here and says, for the Morrissey Ethical Violation Fund. Thank you for your 10. Your content also amazing and hilarious and so much fun to watch. And we play it on this channel all the time. Go over there and check out Fervent's channel also, please, because you're going to thank me. Leanne says, Tim knows what he's doing. This could be a plan to get more attention for the night. When he does have Aiden on, it would be a smart move. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Because now all the people who know nothing about this case are now going to dig into this case. Wyoming, Nana of 4 says, how dare you? Thanks for being here for 6 months. Annie says they are tone deaf. Witnesses, actions, first red flag. Thank you for tuning in from across the pond. It must be very late for you there. Alexa Phelps says, what if the House defendants lose their lawyers and no one else will represent them? I know that's crazy, right? I mean, and all their mouthpieces have been bragging about how great of an attorney this Chris Maddie is. I mean, I don't think that was a very smart move. Do you? Jarlin says, could Tim IRL sue the attorneys for threats? I don't think so. I think Turtleboy has the better case against them for interfering with his business relations. Court says, I heard a rumor that all capital letters is Tim Pool's sarcasm font. I believe it. I could tell right away that was sarcasm when I read it. Thank you, Fiona Houston, for gifting 5 memberships, and Charissa for gifting 5 memberships, and Charissa for all the logos that I love so much. And Prestige Worldwide said, Memorial Day, is he trapped in a holiday loop? I don't know, but thanks for your 40, girl. Love you so much. Fiona also said, thanks for making my Saturday mornings awesome, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. Oh, thank you. We're worldwide here. If you are tuning in from somewhere outside the U.S., let us know where you're tuning in from, because the world is watching. The world is watching, and now, I mean, how many more millions of people are going to be watching? Mrs. Reasonable Doubtfire says, I rarely set a foot or keyboard in Twitter. Went there today on a dog rescue thing, saw somebody attacking Melanie, and now I'm a cupcake. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your 10. I know, it's like, the more they defame me and just, complain about me and hate me on Twitter, the more followers I get. I don't even go on Twitter except to look and see what they're saying and for breaking news. And sometimes, I mean, I don't look and see what they're saying about me because I really don't care. But sometimes when I've taken enough of it, and I do have a petty stream, which we had the other night, which was kind of fun. According to Boo says, that color is stunning on you. Thank you for doing the Lord's work. Oh, thank you. I'm wearing white. I mean, the lipstick, Wonder Skin lip stain. This one is First Kiss, I think. It's First Kiss. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for your 10 and your 10. And Cassie Baby says the center part has your hair looking incredible tonight. Oh, thank you. I was out in the wind. It got cold here tonight. And thank you. Oh, you're sweet. Thanks for your hashtag free turtle boy. And Barnes and Noobs say reps made via, I have no idea what you're talking about because you are illiterate. You're absolutely illiterate. Mrs. Reasonable Doubtfire became a member. Thank you so very much for becoming a member. And I love you. Like, illiterate. There's an illiteracy epidemic in the United States. Many of them are in high school. Some of them are like grown-ass adults with $1.99 super chats, but the illiteracy is off the charts. D says, I feel like we should get CLEs from the stream. Thank you, Mel. Thanks for your 20. Jedi Jen says, you would think that these lawyers would know this before sending this letter. Why put their firms and livelihood at risk? So confusing. You know why? Because they got a pain in the ass client who won't leave them alone. I mean, we saw in some of the FOIA dumps how these people like to give other people agita and try and get them to do what they want. Can you get him to stop blogging about me? Can't you? Wild. Wild. Tell me from where in the world you're watching outside the US. Oh yeah, and so what had happened was here's how we're going to end the show here. The Canes have won the Eastern Conference 6-1 against the Habs, and so we now will be looking forward to the Stanley Cup. Got my hat. So funny that we're here talking about Torts. Torts is also the coach of the Golden Knights. And so I got a new hat. I'm representing because of course I am. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I love you so much. If I don't see you soon, I'm gonna die. But I'm gonna see you soon. I don't know when, but that's why you want to have all your notifications set. You want to make sure that you hit the subscribe button, you hit the like button, you do all of the things that YouTube likes. I'm sorry, Chad Smith. I went to a playoff series in Carolina. I don't even know where the hell it is. North Carolina, Raleigh. And the Canes fans were so mean and so drunk that the hate is on for them from me. I'm not going to apologize for it. I do think this hat's kind of cute, by the way, also. All right. I love you guys. Please do everything YouTube likes. You know what it is. I don't need to tell you. I don't got to tell you nothing. I don't got to talk to you, jerky. Robert says plenty of good sidebars from trial 1. He'll find really interesting. I know, but this guy has like 4 or 5 million subs and 2 million on Twitter. Like he's got less time than I do. I don't know if he's going to get into it, but I hope he does. I hope he does. Love you guys. I'm really happy to hear that his producer is a cupcake too and likes the show. So that's really exciting. Okay. Love you guys so much. I will see you soon. Let's have Bang Bang play us out because, why not? Have an amazing rest of your weekend. Why is it not playing? Hold on.
I'll call this Bang Bang. Seriously? I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
Colin Albert's never been in a fight in his life, he said. Never in his life.
I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
In the comments. Love you guys.